live, Jacob. Take it away.
And we're live.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. We are here live on a Thursday. JPO will be joining us soon, but I am joined by my fellow Lonely Marks. First, I'm gonna go backwards this time. He's always on the bottom,
Do it.
Like I kind of feel bad sometimes that I always go to him last. So I'm gonna go to him first this time. Richie, how's it going?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to be first because I have the Boo Day as my nickname. And I took umbrage about it off here. But no, I'm going good. I'm excited to talk about this pay-per-view, which I thought was a pretty good show. We'll get into it. And talk the news. And so I'm all, third show today. Been at it, so be fun to get into.
Yeah, this is not only is this my first show of the day, it's my first show of the week. Somebody who probably has done quite a few shows this week also. Austin, how's it going?
Oh, I'm always doing shows. I've showed you guys my Google Calendar on screen. Oh my God, it's just stuff written all over the place. That's the only way I keep up with it. Also, like Richie, on my third stream of the evening, planning myself in front of my laptop. Oddly enough, me and Richie on the same all three shows. So it's just us all night because I hosted movie release dates ASAP earlier tonight that I wrote. Richie was on the panel. JPO was on the panel. Then we did Wheel of Movies for Happy Death Day just a little while ago. And then now we're on this. So there we go. So yeah, 3 in a row tonight, but they're all different. So I mean, it's not like I'm saying the same things over and over again.
Right?
3 different shows, but full night of stuff. But it's all good, man. Always happy to be here talking some wrestling. Yeah, there's a pretty good amount of little news notes and things going on in wrestling right now. So it's not a dead week. So it's a perfect week to just do a pay-per-view review and a bunch of news because that's what we've got tonight. So
it's gonna be it's a light show as far as topics, but there's been a nice chunk of news to fill the time. So yeah, it's gonna be.
It was a good pay-per-view. It was an eventful Raw with several things that happened on the show that we could talk about. AEW's got a lot going on with the Continental Classic. There were some announcements from Ring of Honor. There's new storylines kind of popping up. There's some more Netflix news about the Netflix stuff that I could touch on. Just some notes about that. So there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah. Well, I want to start with Netflix because I think the biggest part of that's going to make me happy because I love listening to this guy on commentary. Apparently, Pat McAfee is going to be back. And I think he's just going to join Raw.
Him and Michael Cole on Raw. That's official. So what happens to Joe? What's his name? Joe somebody. He goes to
SmackDown because he's not. I don't think he's doing a terrible job. I think he's doing a good job. I think I like.
He's doing a good job. Sometimes.
Buddy. Don't worry. We just started. We haven't even really dug into the news yet. So you're just in time.
I was about 4 minutes in. It's all good.
No. We're good. We're just we figured we're starting with. Jacob wanted to start with Pat McAfee because he's such a big fan. And the announcement that he's coming back for Netflix. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see that. So sweet.
No, Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are confirmed for Netflix Raw. That's where we're going.
So are they replacing? What are they replacing?
Yeah.
Joe and Wade Barrett. Yeah, what's going to happen to them? I don't know.
I would imagine maybe Joe, Wade Barrett, and Corey Graves might be
on SmackDown as a 3-person team, most likely.
But because I can't. I was just going to say I like Joe. Joe, I think he's like got that good sportscaster voice and he adds legitimacy. But also, I just think sometimes he could afford to probably act a bit more excited sometimes. Because sometimes it's like, he's got the hot tag here. And here comes. But sometimes he gets animated. But I think sometimes he just needs to get animated at the right points too. But but I do like him. He's better than some of the other people they brought in from outside.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, who's going to be the odd man out, or if they go with a 3-man team with Corey and Wade. Because that's like 2 heel color guys, so that would be a little odd to have 2 heel color guys. It'd be a little
unless Wade's making an in-ring return.
Well, there has been
rumored that he might come back and do something. They seem to set up the potential of him and Drew
Right.
I don't think it'll be a full time, but yeah, we'll have to see.
It could be.
I think Pez makes a good point that's kind of an odd three-way actually. So I don't know.
It is, yeah.
Like I could see if they're going to move him over, either have Joe with Corey or Joe with Wade. But yeah, maybe not all three. I don't know. That would be a little overkill. But yeah, I don't know. Corey would be the odd guy out unless he just shows up for pay-per-views or something. I don't know. Because he could. They've done Cole, McAfee, and Corey on pay-per-views, right? Because Corey gets annoyed when Pat has come out to do commentary. He gets annoyed. He's like, "Oh, fucking this guy again," that sort of thing. So they've done that dynamic, at least on pay-per-view. So it's not like he would be cut out completely. But yeah, I wonder if that's going to be a little odd.
Well, I don't know where his mind's at the moment, but I know Corey is clear to compete if he wants to as well. But I don't know that, plans. But yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah,
Corey's been cleared. Yeah, Corey's been cleared for a minute. Back in the 24/7 days when he was, I know he didn't do much, but still was active and rolling people up. It shows you that he's been cleared for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was two other notes for the Netflix thing, Jacob. But in addition to that, they did confirm that even if they go overseas, they will still be live wherever they are. So, if it's 3 p.m. or something here, it'll still be live because it's Netflix. They can just stream it live whenever. And that they will archive the show, from what I read, as soon as possible once it's done. So, I don't know, same night or at least the next day, it will be archived for replay. So that's good news, too, for anybody that just wants to watch it the next day or something like that. It'll be archived very quickly. And so it'll probably just be like a thing where you click on a Netflix tab, for Raw, and it just pulls up either past episodes or, live, whatever. And you can just, like a TV show, just episodes, sort of like Peacock right now. So that makes sense. But that'd be cool. If you don't catch it live, just catch it the next day or whatever. That's cool. So we don't have to wait forever, like on like how it is right now, where it's 2 months behind if you try to watch it on Peacock right now or something like that, with SmackDown or Raw.
I know what's noticed too, the Spanish replay gets brought up first, which kind of is a tease in a way.
Yeah,
you can find the Spanish one usually first.
I mean,
so it's do I watch in a different language or I wait another hour or two?
Yeah, I'm just curious what they're gonna how they're gonna make ad revenue. Are they just gonna do their own sponsors or?
There might just be stuff for their own shows or their own, other Netflix sponsors within the thing, or advertising other TV shows or movies within it. That's a possibility. They can always just plug their own shit. There's enough of those random. JPO knows there's enough of those random movies that get no advertisement that just pop up on Netflix. You could just advertise the shit out of in the middle of the show, right? That just pop up every week.
That's what they did during Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get treated like a Peacock? Where there is forced ads, whether it's we're seeing a WWE ad or we're just seeing a normal ass ad. That's where I'm interested in. Yeah, that's what I hate about Peacock is that unlike the WWE Network where they were able to just do a straight pay-per-view, the Peacock almost forces you to have commercials. So I'm hoping they bypass that, especially if you have the non-ad tier. But we might just be shit out of luck. I don't know.
Or it's like WrestleMania. This match is brought to you by Cinnamon Crunch.
Well, that's a whole different thing. That's just them double dipping. And I think I don't want to say it's greedy because hey, if I ran a company and they're hey, if you let us put Cinnamon Crunch on the ropes for a match, here's an extra, $1 million, $5 million, whatever they're making. It's hard to say no, but yeah, that's just them, their business at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I am looking forward to no commercial breaks during matches. I think that's going to be.
But I almost wonder, are we sure about that? That's where I'm asking about the whole. In Peacock, they waited till the match was done. So I guess we could at least wait till the match is done, but I don't know. I do know sometimes
that's my hope anyway.
Isn't there different levels of Netflix too where it's I remember one time I went to watch Thanksgiving by Eli Roth, and they're you need the next tier to watch Thanksgiving. So maybe it'll be that, or maybe the
I don't know because
get it.
Yeah, I'm unsure because I thought that might have been true for the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight because I have the ads right now. I don't watch Netflix that often. So I have that. I was wondering the same thing. Am I going to be able to, watch Mike Tyson Jake Paul? Is it going to be on the ad free tier? And I was able to watch it no problem. And they didn't run any commercials or ads to it. But again, that's a one time event, whereas Raw is going to be weekly, so it could be different.
Yeah. I mean, we're literally a month away. We'll know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure that again they're spilling out these little tidbits of information gradually. Kind of seems like every week they're giving a little more, with the replay stuff, with the live, no matter what, So they're it seems like they're gradually spilling out information about it. That either that or, and they also had a statement. I think somebody asked one of the higher up people about the streaming issues they had with like the Jake Paul fight, if they were going to be ready for Raw, and they said they kind of confirmed what I thought is that like Raw should be fine because there was literally like the Netflix the Jake Paul thing was crazy because there was like 100 million people trying to watch it, like no joke, like around the world. I mean, thing was huge, because like a ton of people, hundreds of million people have like Netflix, so everybody was just watching it. So I think it was just their stuff got overloaded, and you're not going to have 100 million people watching Raw. Like that'd be cool, but it's not going to happen. Like you might have 1 million people watching Raw. You know what I mean? Like so, it's they'll get a lot of people watching it, but people, if it's also archived, some people will watch it the next day, watch it a couple days later, whatever. Not everybody's going to be watching at the same time. Even if they get 1 million, that's a fraction of what the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing was. I don't think it's going to be that bad. So yeah, I think it'll be fine for what it is. They've done some other live stuff that has gone okay. That roast was live. That went okay because there wasn't as many people watching that Tom Brady roast.
There was
Chris Rock. A lot. No, the roast and the Tyson fight's probably going to outdo what Raw does normally, for sure.
That's what I mean. So I don't think it'll be as much pressure on their system. I think it'll be fine. I'm not terribly worried about that.
And hey, also, I'm a firm believer in, like, it's new. So, like, I'll give them a couple weeks. Like, I'm not going to bitch if it's a little shitty the first week or two. Like, give them time. If it's still shitty come February, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but, let's wait and see.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. What should we dig into next? Do we wait for Raw? Do we talk about Raw after Survivor Series, or do we want to talk about it now, or what?
I guess after, or as it comes during the Survivor Series, or not, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I think there's
I mean, a lot of the stuff. Raw. I think a lot of the stuff that happened on Raw doesn't really pertain that much to Survivor Series.
Yeah,
I mean, one of the segments had Punk in it, but like it didn't really. It wasn't much about Survivor Series. So, like, obviously, the one I was talking about was the New Day. We can talk about that for sure because that was
Yeah, I mean, they've been teasing it for weeks. We thought they were gonna, one was gonna turn on the other, and little did we know we were gonna get swerved with Big E coming out, and they both ended up turning on him. Kofi with the savage line, "You broke your neck, so what?" I didn't.
Yeah, and then it'd be like Stone Cold came back, Kurt Angle came back, Edge, they even dropped Edge. Edge came back. Yeah. They all came back, and you didn't even need surgery, and you're still not back yet. And some of those guys had surgery, and they came back. Like, you're not even back yet. Yeah, they should have pulled the line. Kurt Angle broke his neck and still won a gold medal. What's your excuse?
They acted like jilted,
you never pay attention to me anymore. What about me? You never make time for me anymore. Where were you when I needed you? Yeah, it was a lot of that.
Their rationale was so ridiculous. It was kind of funny.
But again, that's a total heel thing. That's why I kind of liked it. But at least like they didn't gaslight the audience like they've done with some things. They've done angles where the person will say like, "Oh, you, the audience, you turned on me." No, you didn't. They were cheering for you last week, and the week before that, and the week before that, and they go like, "Oh, the people turned on me." Like, no, you're gaslighting me. That's not what happened. No, at least in this case, it's true that Big E has not been around. You know what I mean? It's true that they have kind of gone down a notch since Kofi they mentioned him getting at least they brought up the week before. Xavier brought up him getting squashed by Brock Lesnar in 9 seconds or whatever,
It's the first time he's brought that up since it happened.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's probably been wanting to say that for a while, like, at least even in character. There was a lot of blood, but, like, maybe Kofi, was like, no, you're right. Like, we've sucked lately, like, and we need to turn it around. So I think it's more interesting that they're just going to be a heel tag team now. Like, I think that's actually more interesting than just another tag team partners turning on each other. You know what I mean? It's at least a little more fresh of like, and then you add in the Big E thing to where if he does come back eventually, from the injury, if he can actually get back in the ring, he has this made feud right there. You know what I mean? Or he could get another partner, get somebody to side with him, or just try to do it on his own, whatever. There's a little more, I think, things you can flesh out a little more with that,
Yeah. I like how, like, last time they were heels, they were so entertaining that they turned themselves babyface. So yeah, it is weird. Like,
let's go.
Yeah.
No.
Well, people forget too. Like, I think what New Day was meant to be and what they became was different. Because I think they were supposed to be like a Nation of Domination type freaking faction, where like Xavier initially came out trying to recruit Kofi and was talking about being held down because of a race, and then it was then they went off TV for a bit, and then it became like preachers and stuff, and then the crowd was like, nah. This is we're not into this, but then they just sort of lent into being heels, and then they became fun. So I don't know. It's been an interesting ride for the New Day, but yeah, I'm looking forward to them being full-on heels. I think there's been a lack of. I think on the heel side of things, I think there needs to be more heel tag teams. But yeah.
Let's get Big Easy. I mean, now. I thought Big E sold it great. I thought he did.
No, he was great. His little sulking out of the ring with his frowny, sad face on was pretty great. Like, his acting was excellent. So that's how it's going to be. We're just going to end it like that. All right. He just leaves.
I felt sorry for him. I was like, wait, no, it's a show. It's a show. He's going to be fine.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah. No, because I thought it was going to go kind of the way it did at first. I always assumed Big E's going to come out, pep cheer him, you know what I mean? And he even said, I'll be here. I'll manage you. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, cool. That's how it's going to end. Ding dong. Good night. And then now a nice little turn by Kofi and Xavier. I don't know. Kind of interesting to see. Like, is this the last we'll see of Big E for a while? Is he maybe cleared to come back? I don't know. But anything, we're going to see a little bit of a difference from Kofi and Xavier. Now, I kind of wish there was a face tag champs now, because I'd love to see them kind of rise up and actually get those titles sooner than later then.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if they need to just do that with somebody, even if it's just the War Raiders or something. You know what I mean? Like, they just need to do it with somebody just to get them off of there. Yeah, because you can't have heel versus heel, tag title matches. Like, it just doesn't work like that. It's just too odd.
Adam Pearce kind of like hinted that, like, because he gave Finn Balor got his title, he's got a title match at Stand on Fan Man. Hey, we'll talk about the other title match next week. I'm assuming it means the tag titles. But he also went about that line of like, you guys never defend the tag titles. Like, dude, again, you're
the general manager. You can put them in matches. Make them wrestle. It's your job. You can do that.
But it'd be interesting. I will note that Big E does like have some like sort of acting projects in the works. There's like there was an Australian TV show, right? It was the premise is there's this woman with like her ex-partners sexual partners would mysteriously die after she's had sex with them, and it's called Laid, and there's gonna be an American remake, and Big E is gonna be in that show. So I think he's like there's some like outside projects he's doing, whether that sort of takes away from his wrestling, his responsibilities.
Well, if he's already filmed it, maybe it's already in the can. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, but like I don't know whether he has like a lot of projects. I don't know.
But it could. But this could thing, if he is cleared, or if he could potentially be cleared, you could do a little angle in the middle of the Royal Rumble, and that would be a good way to kind of bring him back. If he came out as like a surprise in the Royal Rumble, maybe like do something where Xavier and Kofi are in the match together. They're dominating, doing that thing where the tag team kind of they run roughshod on everybody, and then Big E, his music hits, he comes out, and they do a little something at the Rumble. That could be cool, and a good way to kind of kickstart the feud, physically. That'd be fun.
If I had to guess, I would say that he's cleared and then it's building to something.
Because otherwise, why would they interject him all of a sudden in the feud if he isn't going to do something about it physically eventually down the line? You know what I mean? So like, and why else would they drop the line about him? Him saying, when I'm medically cleared, he could already be behind the scenes. You know what I mean? We don't know. Maybe he's keeping it a secret. It's very possible.
Would be interesting to see where this storyline would have gone if Odyssey Jones didn't allegedly fuck up and didn't get fired.
We may not have this feud at all, actually. It would have been weird. Either that or it would have been Odyssey would have become the new Big E, maybe, and maybe just Xavier would have gotten jealous of that or something, maybe Kofi siding with him. That seems like that's kind of where they were going initially before he dropped out. Like that might have been where the feud actually went, but it didn't happen that way. So maybe they were better off that it happened that way. I don't know the way it did now. Maybe.
Yeah.
those little accidents about how we all have to thank Jack Perry for CM Punk being back in WWE, in a domino effect way, because of using glass. Like it's just how it's gonna.
Primary remember.
Yeah.
Also,
Jack
Perry probably has to thank CM Punk for getting a bigger push. Like he's become a bigger star, or bigger. Like he's got a bigger place
world on TV. Yeah.
Because of that.
All his fault.
Yeah.
And you know who's to blame for the bloodline, right? For Roman Reigns' big rise.
Yeah. The other thing, Seth Rollins.
No, but it starts
Batista.
It starts with Batista. If he never quit and left, Seth Rollins never would have turned on the Shield, and this would have all been fine. It's Batista's fault. He wanted to go back to Hollywood.
Yeah. Well,
but it's also Vince's fault for not booking Batista better, and it's Vince's dad's fault for adopting him, and it's his dad's fault for not hugging him enough, and then it's his dad's fault for not hugging him enough for hug his son. So,
everything has consequences. You know what I'm saying? Everything going all the way back to the 40s. Yes. No. That's what I was going to say, Jacob, about that. Yeah, Punk Rollins segment and Sami Zayn is that they're not afraid to call back to things a long time ago, which I like, which they used to be afraid to do in WWE, to acknowledge people's histories, acknowledge old feuds, old storylines. And it's no, we can call back to a thing that you did to Roman Reigns 10 years ago, and it kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're no, you put him on this path because you turned him into this solo, force of nature or whatever that eventually led to this. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging people's past. The one example I always gave was after 2-3 years after the Stephanie Test thing, remember, when Stephanie left Test and then married Triple H, they would interact. They would have these little bits where sometimes they would interact backstage during the invasion angle, or the alliance thing, and Test, Stephanie would have a thing with Test and ask him to do something, take out Jericho or whatever, do something, and he'd be like, all right, I'll do it, but you're still a bitch, something like that. You know what I mean? He would at least acknowledge that they have this history. I'd at least appreciated that they would at least give a nod to it and not ignore it, because you have to call it out. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging storylines you've done in the past, past feuds, past matches. Histories. The audience is not stupid. They'll remember that, especially since they just called back to the Seth Rollins Roman thing last year at the WrestleMania, when he put the Shield shit on and when they hit him again, you know what I mean? It's not that long ago that they did that.
I don't know what Vince's hang up was about not bringing up things that happened. It's your history, company. Why not that?
Yeah. But, and then of course, like you said, it led to a match later between Sammy and Seth, where we got the return of Drew McIntyre. Not since Hell in a Cell have we seen Drew, and he's back now. So
that's a very manly photo of Drew.
That is some. There's some abs on that photo, some muscles on that thing. Yeah.
I'm wondering, is it going to be a Drew Sammy feud, or is he just attacking Sammy because he's just announcing that he's back? Is Drew just going to go after anybody who's associated? He still hates Roman Reigns. I mean, everybody does.
Or it could be a Drew Jey Uso feud. Could he be the one to attack Jey Uso?
I'm pretty sure he was.
I could see a match like that happening at that Saturday Night's Main Event thing, like Drew and Jey Uso. That could be a match for that. That seems like a pretty logical, sort of semi-main event kind of a situation, something like that, or undercard situation. But that makes sense. But it's funny how Roman Reigns is still the center of 3 different storylines. It's kind of cool. You know what I mean? CM Punk still has a thing with him, eventually I'm going to get you, you know what I mean? I did you this favor, but I got something in the hole. Seth Rollins still has beef with Roman. Drew has, a thing for Roman, everybody's still kind of gunning for Roman. Roman's still the top of the pack, but not physically feuding with all these people, but they're still intertwining all the different things and leaving those threads open, in case they want to come back to them. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's still very obvious he's the most important person in the company, because Cody Rhodes is obviously he's a big star, but there's only really been one guy gunning for him, which is Kevin Owens at this point. But I'm sure that will change in time. That will change in time. But and obviously now there's probably multiple gunning for I guess they've not got multiple at the moment going for Gunther. But yeah.
Gunther, by the way, babyface Gunther.
I guess he's tweener.
I was about to say, is he a tweener? Is he just playing the role based on
Because
whoever?
it certainly looks like he's facing Finn. They pretty much confirmed he's facing Finn Balor at Saturday Night's Main Event. So,
but he's also. I'm guessing he might have a rematch with Priest down the line. But I think they're probably going. I think they're heading towards the kind of triple threat. Maybe I don't know. Or I could even see Dominic Mysterio pop in there.
Who, by the way, I did not expect to get cheered for having a near fall on Gunther. By the way, I thought that was pretty cool.
I think he's just getting a mixed reaction in general now. He's not like this boo heel. I mean, they like to boo when he's on the mic. You know, it's just a fun thing to do. But like when he's like out there now, it's just like, I think people are kind of disrespect what he does. Like when he was doing the whole two thing, like his antics in the back was entertaining. I think people just acknowledge he's entertaining. And he was able to have a decent showing in that short match. But
but Finn Balor's a full-on heel, so they have that match. Gunther's definitely like the
he'll
face,
be the whole babyface, but I don't think he's babyface in general.
Yeah, but I think they're going for that though, or they're starting to turn him like that. Yeah. But again, that's a little odd given his personality and his character, especially on the microphone over the last year. But
he aligns with Ludwig, who's definitely a heel.
I don't know if I could buy it. Like, obviously, I'm going to cheer for the guy because I think he's a great wrestler and I think he's just a great performer. But yeah, like his personality, like he's been with WWE for what, like 5 or 6 years now, and he's been healed the entire time. I don't see like maybe I don't know if he was a babyface in other promotions. I didn't keep up with his work.
He was mostly just kind of a monster heel.
Yeah. Okay.
When he was Walter, he was just kind of like the big bruiser, kind of a guy. Like they had matches where sometimes the crowd was with him, like PWG to have matches and the crowd would cheer him just because they like seeing him beat people up, kind of depending on who he worked. It's sort of the same thing. If he worked Ricochet, in PWG, which they did in like Battle of Los Angeles, stuff like that. They kind of cheer both guys because like PWG, they don't boo a whole lot of people outside of the Bucks like back then or things like that, certain people. But yeah, I mean, I think his just personality just fits more as a heel, but maybe they're going to experiment with it and kind of see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, I had that same thought, but I mean, like he could just be an asshole to whoever he's facing and just be a dick to.
Well, and he's all about himself because the crowd still cheered when because the whole thing, we'll get into it with the Survivor Series match a little more, but when Finn Balor interfered in the match and then he was like, well, no, fuck you, this is my match, and just and booted him in the face. He's like, no, I'm fighting Priest right now, not you. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, the crowd still cheered for that at least, and it makes sense within the character because he wants to win his matches and he knows he can, things like that. But we'll talk about it more. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just something they're playing around with right now.
I could also see them building a scenario. I think they're building towards a scenario. I don't know whether he'll become babyface out of it, but like I think they're building towards a scenario where like the Judgment Day kick Finn Balor out. They're definitely teasing dissension between him and Dominic Mysterio, and then Liv Morgan and Raquel, and then there's like Kalido and JD McDonald that seem to be on this other side. But
I could see Balor going back to babyface at some point. He could.
I think there's friction.
Yeah,
so.
I can see that. Him. Because he's a good babyface as well. Because he's kind of an underdog kind of guy. He's a smaller dude, but he's a good wrestler. I could see him. Yeah, maybe him feuding with Dominic, and maybe he becomes the babyface. I don't know. Yeah, it could be. And they play around with that. Maybe Priest eventually comes around to him. I don't know. Like they could play with that and see what happens. Maybe he'll be a face in 2025. Who knows?
Yeah,
could be. You want to switch over to some AEW news? I could talk about the Continental Classic a little bit. Again, JB, I won't spoil anything, but they have announced a lot of the matches that over the next week or so that will be happening. I will not spoil anything, I promise. Other than just the matches they've announced for the actual Classic. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are scheduled as of right now. But yeah, so after Dynamite, Claudio is in the lead of the Gold League. Kyle Fletcher is in the lead of the Blue League, each with 6 points. So they're in the lead. Some guys still yet to get on the board. These are everything that has been announced so far. I found a page that has everything that's announced. So Rampage this Friday has Daniel Garcia versus the Beast Mortos scheduled. We've got Okada versus Mark Briscoe on Rampage. That's a big match for Rampage. That's a big match for Rampage. And then Ricochet versus Commander. So that should be a pretty high flying, spectacle there.
Don't forget to the news. I think Richard's about to say what I was about to say. Yeah, Juice Robinson was originally in the tournament, got injured, and so Commander will replace him now.
Yeah, Commander's
injured pretty badly too. Apparently, he broke if you go back to the match, you can kind of see it, but not at the time. But it was just a routine sunset flip. He just broke his leg.
Yeah.
No, that sucks too because he's just wasn't he just back too? We were missing him for a while before that.
Yeah.
This was November. He returned in. I guess he only missed a few weeks up there, but yeah.
Yeah. No.
Last year he missed 6 months, so he's been injured a couple times. Hopefully he gets healthy and can stay healthy. He's entertaining. I like him.
So then Collision, and that match is announced for Saturday. Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. That should be good.
Heels. I guess.
Heel match. Yeah, heel versus heel. So we'll see. Maybe they'll cheer for Okada in that one. They might. Commander versus Darby Allin. So somebody will get their first win there, at least. You got Daniel Garcia versus Mark Briscoe, which should also be a really good match. And then here's the one that I saw announced for next week's Dynamite that I wish, God damn it, if there's some way I could see this on cable. Will Ospreay versus Claudio Castagnoli. Holy shit, do I want to see that? That's going to be great.
On free TV.
On free TV. That's that's a pay-per-view quality match. God damn, I want to see that match.
It's also winter is coming.
Winter is coming. So, and also another one that is probably going to be great: Brody King versus Ricochet. That could be a great match too. Damn, that's a hell of a Dynamite. Where's Dynamite at? Do I need to fly there and just go there this week?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Son of a bitch! That's too far. I know. I'm getting a Dynamite in a couple of weeks, but I'm afraid I'm going to get the leftovers from World's End, and I'm just not going to get a lot. And then they have announced one other match for the following Dynamite: Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin. So that should be a fun match as well. So we're getting some good stuff.
I still have Brody King as my dark horse. I don't know. I don't think he's not a favorite necessarily. I think my favorite is Will Ospreay.
Hey, AEW and your YouTube page. Raw occasionally will upload full matches, from Raw. Upload some of these goddamn matches on your YouTube channel. Maybe they'll get some views. Come on, please. Just upload the match.
I know that's good for you, but no, I see why they don't, so.
But why? Raw does it sometimes. Why wouldn't you? At least the match. Just the match. I'm not saying the whole show.
They want you to subscribe, baby.
Subscribe to what? It's on cable.
Cable, exactly.
No, it's too expensive. I can't do another $80 a month.
Right.
I can't do that right now. That's too much. My HOA just jacked up $100. I can't do an extra $80 a month. No, I can't do it. When they start doing it on Max, I can watch it, but that's going to happen after Ospreay and Claudio. But maybe they'll upload, if they upload past Dynamites, maybe I'll get a chance to watch it. But
sometimes WWE will upload a segment a few minutes after it's happened.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty on the ball. They want these people to see certain things, So I just don't get it. At least upload some matches. I'm just saying. I have to upload the whole show. So that's the announcement. Bandito, there was a vignette for his return.
Yeah.
So Bandito's coming back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, he's been gone for a while, about 2 years or so. Maybe JPO could pull up Bandito when the last time we saw him on AEW was on a little cage match. Right, JPO?
Twice, actually. What happened?
Bandito's coming back. When was the last time he was on TV? Look it up.
Anyone else seen that his return video, by the way? How great was that?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah.
June 14th, 2023. You're welcome.
There's so many Banditos. There's 12 of them on a cage match.
Oh, okay. The one with the white mask. That guy. The ROH guy. He's looking at that.
Takeshita.
Okay, so Bandito,
Yeah,
we'll be
so
back. That's cool.
over
That's
a
cool.
year and a half that dude will have been gone. So congrats to him making his TV return. I'm excited for it. From a Ring of Honor World Champ.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Speaking of Ring of Honor World Champ, JPO, Chris Jericho in Final Battle versus Matt
Yeah.
Cardona. Matt
Yeah,
Cardona.
woo.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, one of the only places Cardona has never been to. So
Mm.
I actually will probably starting next week if there's anything interesting on the Ring of Honor television. I'll let you know because I will subscribe because the pay per view itself will be on the Honor Club. So for $10, you can kind of catch up on TV, watch the pay per view. So I will subscribe and see if the TV is any good.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he'll make some appearances on TV beforehand. I would assume so, right? Or at least do some promos.
At least some
something like
promos, yeah. I mean, get a hype for that match. I mean, I'm hyped for the match in general. Though, again, I will say this: very heel unless they try to place Cardona as a face, So
I think they're placing Cardona as a face.
all right,
And that's Hammerstein, right? They're doing Final Battle of the Hammerstein, right? Just like a lot of other shows are
with
going
the
to
Hammerstein Ballroom, yeah.
GCW is coming back to Hammerstein very soon as well. So yeah, much people
got a big event there. With I believe Cardona's before as well. So
I think
Cardona
they're doing
a lot.
I think they're doing a Dynamite at Hammerstein. The same, yeah, they're doing like a couple of things.
They mentioned, that's where we'll see Hook versus Nick Wayne, which I'm sure will have an appearance by Taz. That'll get a nice pop.
Yeah, he's having surgery or something, isn't he? Like some knee thing.
I thought that was done already, but maybe
I think he had a knee replacement. Or was that something?
Yeah, I think that's been done. So I'm sure he'll be healed up by then enough to. Like I said, it's Taz. I didn't say he'd go wrestle, but I'm sure he'll put Christian or someone in the Taz mission, maybe
Yeah, someone will creep behind him and he can just
choke him out. Yeah,
that's funny. A lot of people think of Hammerstein as the ECW, like an ECW arena, but Ring of Honor has actually ran there more than ECW. So
yeah, but I think ECW kind of made it a little more mainstream, because they ran some pay-per-views there. They did a lot of TV there, things like that. So obviously the one night stand thing, the first one night stand, both of them at the Hammerstein. So no, it's funny. So I know a little behind the scenes about the Hammerstein and that the whole building in general, that Manhattan Center, because they used to run Raw there, those original Raws at that Manhattan, it's that same building. That thing's a pain in the ass to set up. I know from kind of firsthand knowledge, my buddy Frankie Gastineau, who refs for TNA right now, who I used to ride around a lot with in Florida. So when they set up, they've done shows there. There's like one elevator you have to take up. There's like literally just one elevator. So you have to take up all the pieces of the ring, like one piece at a time in this elevator. It's like one elevator, like 12 floors to get up there and like unload everything. So you can take like one turnbuckle, you know what I mean? Take it up there and come back down. You got to take up the ropes, one thing or another. All the wood pieces, you got to use set up the ring. You got to take up like two at a time and come back down. It said it's a pain in the nuts. It takes like all afternoon. It's horrible. Because otherwise you can't just take that shit up like 12 flights of stairs. It just doesn't work. And they just
for sure. No, I've heard that too before. Yeah, it's a setup nightmare, but the fact they like the looks of it, so they kind of keep trying to.
So you have to get there like in the morning and start setting up. Like it's an all day affair to get like everything else. Anybody setting up audio equipment, you got to take all the speakers and all your equipment up there, all your computers, tables, whatever you need. You got to take it up just one thing at a time, and it's a pain in the dick to get up. So I do know that from kind of firsthand, eyewitness accounts, if you will. Of the Hammerstein, that it sucks. So cool looking venue, all those places where they ran, but not a pain in the ass behind the scenes. So what else we got? JP, you got any other news bits, news notes?
Actually, if you can share my screen here in a second, we can run through something pretty quick, just 5 matches in case anyone's interested.
All right.
NXT's got their deadline coming up Saturday. So, hey, from Full Gear to the Survivor Series to Deadline, something every weekend I look forward to here. This one's an actual underground match, no ropes, which I thought that was funny on Tuesday. One of them comes out like, bring the ropes down. And then they're actually like halfway done. And then Ava comes out. The commissioner goes, no, we're saving that. They should have went to the ref and had gone, what the fuck? I'm halfway done already. So it was all for naught. But we got Lola Vice, Jada Parker, both have been having a pretty good run here. Jada's had some really good no disqualification matches. So underground match between these two. Tag titles on the line. No quarter catch crew. Tavion Heights, Miles Bourne taking on Axiom and Nathan Frazier, who have been kind of sparring a little bit recently themselves. So Frazier's also in the match that we'll talk about here in a second. 2 Iron Survivor matches here. This is kind of, I believe the rules are 2 of them start, and then like 2 or 5 minutes in, another one comes in until finally at the 15-minute mark. That's when it starts to become kind of an Iron Man match until the 25-minute mark. If you get pinned, you also put in a penalty box. So some fun gimmicks. These end up being pretty good here.
So like a King of the Mountain match. Like,
did they do one of those at Stand and Deliver with like Trick Williams and a couple of guys? Did they do one of those then? Earlier this year? Okay.
Yeah, it's been done before. I got all the kind of the new top names in this. Julia, Daya, you got Stephanie Vaquer, Maddie Wren got in there, so should be a fun one. There's the men's one as well. There's Nathan Frazier again, Javon, Wes. He might get taken out. Eddie Thorpe, they showed him attacked backstage, so I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe replace them. And then Ethan Page in the men's version, and then also too, the title will be on the line. Rich Holland taking on Trick Williams. So
Rich Holland, one of the better heels in the business right now. He's doing some good heel work.
Doing pretty good. Yeah, killed Chase U. Pretty decent on the promo. As a villain. So who knows? I can see either one of these two being called up. Come the new year. So
I think it's almost a lock that Trick will be on the main roster next year.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
I think at least. I mean, this is pretty preemptive because we'll do these predictions like in a few weeks, but I think he'll be one of the NXT people in the Rumble.
I think that's almost guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
Come on, whoop that Trick on the way to the ring at Royal Rumble. 100%. Yeah, you have to do that, right? Of course.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad for Nathan Fraser for having to pull double duty there, but it is what it is.
I don't. More money and more spots? Fuck yeah. How do you feel bad for him?
Unless he just walks out on his tag team partner and goes into business for himself.
In a kayfabe.
I could see him losing both matches and that kind of being the end of that tag team. Although they've been a good tag team. I also wouldn't mind that tag team getting called up too either. Because they're just both really good cruiserweights. So you always got to wonder about their spots in the roster.
Yeah, them versus Machine Guns is like a match you could have.
Or really Raw could use them as well, them versus those New Day, like you need a babyface tag team like on Raw as well. I feel it'll kind of bolster that division. So either one, but I feel like they're kind of ready for the main roster as well. I think you'll see them on the main roster as a team. Yeah, Trick Williams is almost a guarantee. 2025 after the Rumble, he's on the main roster. I'm pretty sure they're ready for him.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a draft after or something. They usually do that. So. You could probably see people come up after that.
Oh, yeah, maybe see him get drafted if they do one. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
TNA had a pay-per-view on Friday. Not much moving the needle on the TNA mark. No new champions of any sort. Matt Riddle did debut. Not sure if that means he'll do more. It was during WrestleCade weekend, and I believe someone was injured. So it might have just been simply like, well, he's here. Couple $100, few $100 through the match. So, or it could have been a legit debut. He looked good in the match.
I think what happened is that, I don't know why they both had this, but Trey Miguel and PCO had travel issues. So obviously, it's fortunate.
Oh, it wasn't an injury; it was a travel issues. Okay, I wasn't sure.
It's fortuitous that they were both at WrestleCade, so they had a lot of wrestlers to choose from. But
No, I mean that's what I mean. Like they were in the luckiest place to be, needing a backup because
you have a lot of wrestlers at WrestleCade. Wrestlers everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You can take your
and
pick of people.
WrestleCade themselves had a huge super show. Shelton Benjamin. I mean, obviously Benjamin wasn't an option, but like anyone that wasn't AEW contracted, they could have chosen. So, more JBL shenanigans too. Again, just kind of coming out, being quiet, close all, letting the fool and leaving. So, still don't know what's up with that. I know they said maybe we'll hear from JBL tonight. I know they're at least teasing that. So. Maybe tonight on Impact we actually get a little bit of what the fuck's going on with JBL.
Yeah.
All right.
Eric Bischoff is actually helping run an MLW show that's happening right now. It's called Eric Bischoff's One Shot. So supposedly he has some creative in it as well. He's claiming it's a one-off, but you'll see if there's any update on that too afterwards.
What did he do? Was NXT last night or is that tonight? What did he do?
Was that last week or tonight?
No, that was this week. Yesterday, Tuesday.
This week it was him and
I'm saying, what did he do on the show? I didn't see it. Like, what did he do when he showed up? Like,
not like not like. Did you see it, JP?
Not much. No, he just kind of. I think he just kind of held like the thing for the main event and whatnot. So didn't really add much to it. X-Pac was also just backstage, like hyping up Javon Evans. So nothing really needle moving or anything that will affect the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think even Bischoff said it was like more of a one-shot thing. Like he's not going to be like a recurring character or anything like that. He just said it was like a thing.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't displayed as anything more than just like a look who's here and we can advertise you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and MLW,
they won. You know,
like you said,
since they moved to
if he's acting like MLW, like he's just the general manager for the night almost, in MLW, he's running the show. He kind of moderated the Trick Williams Rich Allen promo is all he really did. Right. Yeah. So ever since they moved to the CW, they've been very like, look who's here this week. We got Randy Orton this week. We got fucking Bischoff this week. They seem to be pretty heavy on like the random guest stars. So yeah.
I feel like Eric Bischoff sort of settled into his post. I mean, he obviously makes appearances, but he's also settled into that post sort of wrestling life. I think he does like stuff with like real estate or something. I sort of interview. So like any sort of hope for like a more of a full-time gig, I think it's probably not in his.
No, it's just going to be. I think he's already said it's just going to be special appearances here and there. Like he doesn't mind showing up every now and then to do something, but yeah, it's not. He's not interested in doing.
He's even done a couple indies here in Florida because I think if you book his son, you might be able to book him as well. You get a little combo deal of Garrett and Eric Bischoff. I know ALW's on that here.
That's unfortunate because you'd get into a situation where you'd book Garrett just because you can get Eric Bischoff. I don't think you'd just book Garrett just to book Garrett.
Yeah, they had a little mini Ace and Eights reunion, according where Wes Briscoe and Eric Bischoff are, or Garrett Bischoff. They're in Florida.
Quick question for you guys: Josh Alexander, free agent in February. Does he go to AEW, NXT? Does he? What is it? Where does he go? Where do you think he's going to go?
Oh man, yeah, he had a good Chris Van Vliet interview, and he's very coy, and it might be just the truth of like, he's hearing out everybody. TNA, he has said TNA's not out of the realm, and he very much is signed back. But I don't know. I could see him. I think he's really good. I mean, think about any roster. Him versus Chad Gable sounds pretty delicious. Him versus, some of the AEW guys, Ricochet, that sounds pretty dope. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, either one. I think he would stand out more in NXT and then WWE.
Yeah.
Personally. And NXT, they could play off the Ethan Page
stuff, maybe.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And/or feud. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also, like, I think because he announced that, like, he wouldn't. He sort of implied that he might have already made a decision, or that he might be like, because he said that like he made a statement like a little while ago saying he's retiring from the Indies and like the order where he's going, and he won't be able to do many indie dates, which implies to me that WWE, but they allow them to do something. They do the occasional indie date with WWE now, just to still do.
No, they don't.
A special appearance, like OTT, the Judgment Day. Finn Balor and JD McDonough showed up at OTT, the Irish promotion.
That's more of that's like your home promotion and not on TV. I just feel like that's super rare. I wouldn't call that.
Yeah, I'm saying it's rare, but then it's still happening. But his quote kind of makes me think more towards WWE than AEW, because AEW, you still do get, you can still
AEW is weird. Yeah, I agree. It makes you lean towards WWE, but like AEW is also weird because like until not being on TV, like Ricky Starks wasn't looking elsewhere. You know what I mean? You never see Sammy Guevara pop up randomly, but then other people do. So I don't know. Even AEW is hard to judge, I think, to a degree.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're getting paid enough and like you're important enough, like you're not bothering going anywhere else. So I feel like AEW is starting to change that too a little bit as time goes on.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Josh Alexander goes into NXT, I think he can stand out very, very quickly and work his way up the card very, very fast and become like a top guy there. You know what I mean? And really inject some life into that scene and be another guy who's like really experienced and knows what he's doing, but would be fresh to a somewhat new audience and could be really great and really stand out. And he's just an awesome wrestler. So I think he'll just he could shoot right up and be champion within a year. I think if he jumped into NXT.
Speaking of injuries too, man, a fun fact I don't know if any of you guys even know, he did retire like 6-7 years ago because he had a big bad neck injury scare and like was told by like a doctor like, dude, you gotta stop. And then like 6 months later was told by another doctor like, nah, just like, you know, take it easy for another few months, you can go back. So like he had like a whole like, goodbye, it sucks, I'm sad, but I gotta stop. And then now he's back. So I just love those comeback stories. You know what I mean? Like this is a dude who had to walk away at one point and is now at a point where he's the former TNA world champion who now we're all excited to see where he ends up going, you know, whether, you know, it's a new endeavor or, you know, to go back to the mountain of TNA.
Yeah, it looks pretty obvious if you look at watching, if you're watching TV too, that like Jordan Grace is probably finishing up soon.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that, you know, she dropped into Slamovich, she's kind of now just in kind of like these mid-card, like whatever feuds. Yeah, I think Grace is about to be wrapped up. Alexander is wrapping up. You know, he's in the kind of mid-card feuds for now. He's still on TV. I guess they're saying he could be on TV.
And again, Hendry's contract comes up next year. He'll definitely be in NXT 100%. Like, he will be there full-time.
I would imagine.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they're already working with him, and they like him. So, I mean, I'm pretty confident he'll roll over full-time into there and be one of the guys. So, I mean, yeah, there's those guys who they were already working with. Yeah, Jordan Grace 100%. She's already been half working over there anyway, so like they're definitely picking her up. Like she's that's almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I think Jordan's easily like she's the biggest lock to me out of all three of those.
Mm-hmm. But it makes sense. She'll fit in.
Yeah.
All right.
That might be the best women's division out there, NXT boy. Damn.
Yeah, they're cooking over there.
All right. Survivor Series. Should we talk about it?
Yeah, but I want you guys to indulge me for a moment because before Survivor Series, they put out a video where some superstars created like their dream Survivor Series teams. And so me, being the nerd I am, I took those teams and I have created 5 matchups that I would like you guys to determine the winner of right now. I spun a wheel. These are all random. I swear to you they're random, and you're going to call me a liar from the very first matchup, because the very first matchup.
We'll even had this conversation.
The very first matchup that I spun was Team Dominic, which was Dominic Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Ricky Steamboat, and Razor Ramon versus the mystery team of Rey Mysterio, Bret Hart, Andre the Giant, Batista, and also Dominic Mysterio. So you can kind of cancel those two out. But who would win and who would be like your survivors? So you can go real quick. You don't have to go in depth but just like who of those two teams has who comes out on top in that one.
Bret Hart wins via sharpshooter in the middle of the ring.
All right.
Fuck that. Shawn Michaels wins after he super kicks the shit out of Bret Hart. Fuck that.
No, he catches that super kick and puts him in the sharpshooter, and Earl Hebner calls for the bell.
No, he doesn't. Earl Hebner goes, "You right, Shawn."
I get to see elimination after. I get to see elimination after elimination. It gets down to Bret and Shawn's like 20 more minutes before we finally get another.
Yeah, we got to do 5 arm bars in a row, and then some like shoulder locks and chin locks. Yeah, that boring ass match.
You guys, that Iron Man is a good match. You fucking haters.
That match is boring as shit for like 45 minutes, bro.
Haters.
That's the most overhyped shit boring match. So like. Yeah, people remember the last 10 minutes of that match. Go watch that whole match, and I dare you to stay awake for the first 45 minutes. Fuck, man. There's 5-minute arm bars in that goddamn match, dude. Screw that match. That match sucks. Almost every other Iron Man match has been better than that, dude. Like The Rock, Triple H, way better. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, way better. Fucking
Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. Like I've been way better hour-long matches than that. Like fuck that, bro. That match sucks. Like I will forever stand on that hill.
Richie, who would you pick?
I won't have look, just to be Switzerland. I won't have the Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart be involved in the decision. I will. Yeah, I'll have Dirty Dom pin his dad at the end. There you go.
Mm. All right.
Yeah, so Shawn Michaels won though.
Sure.
All right. The next matchup is between the team of Justice, which is R-Truth's team. But he's not actually in the match because he chose John Cena, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and the Usos, and they are taking on A-Town Down Under and Trish, which has A-Town Down Under, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, Trish Stratus, The Rock, and Kevin Owens. So JPO, who would you choose? Who would you choose in that one?
I was gonna say this is easy, but then the two best people are not in the team name. So I'll say A-Town Under and Trish win, but they're the three that are eliminated. So only Rock and Owens are your survivors.
Nice. Richie.
No, I have to go. Just from I think Roman pins Rock. There you go. I think Roman and the team, whatever,
Justice.
Team Justice.
Because it's just us. That's what R-Truth said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go there.
All right, Pez.
Well, if Cena and Roman are on a team, that's an invincible team. So either one of them just wins with a finishing move. You know what I mean? Like, so probably at the same time, I'll say at the same time, they finish off the other team. Cena hits his AA, Roman hits a spear, and they pin whoever at the same time. And the Supermen stand next to each other. That's what happens.
I'm curious on this one. I really like this one. The next one is the D1 All-Americans, which is Braun Breaker, the Steiners, and Doom.
All right.
Taking on the Nubian Day, which was the New Day, Too Cold Scorpio, and Papa Shango. Xavier Woods chose that team, by the way, and Braun Breaker chose the D1 All-Americans. Richie.
I have to go. What was Braun Breaker team called?
The D1 All-Americans.
I'll go the D1 All-Americans. It's a very meaty team, and that'd be too much for the Xaviers.
That team's too much man for that ring to handle. That's a very masculine team. Yeah.
JPO,
I would want Nubian.
No, I go with Team Meat Madness. That's what I would call them. Because holy shit, yeah, that's a fucking meaty team. And yeah, the Steiners just doomsday device somebody on the other team for the win. They doomsday device the shit out of Xavier Woods and just pin his geek ass. and that's it. That's what they win.
And again, this is the way the wheel spun them. Up next, it's Team Ciampa versus Team Gargano. They're not in the match. They just chose their teams. Ciampa's team is a very interesting. I think this one's going to be a landslide. He chose Ludwig Borga, Typhoon, Bam Bam Bigelow, 1-2-3 Kid, and Kamala. Gargano chose Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker. Because who would you pick to win that?
So it's a team of A-listers versus a team of geeks other than Bam Bam. All right, sounds good. All right. So it's a team of dorks against a team of like Mount Rushmore people. Okay.
Right.
I wonder who wins in this one. No, here's what happens. Triple H beats them all by himself. He pedigrees the shit out of everybody and pins them all five on top of each other. Because that's what would happen in real life. Triple H would be like, fuck these geeks. I'm gonna do my move to all of them, just pin them all by myself. So yeah, that's what happens.
Name the A-listers for me real quick one more time.
It's Triple H, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold, and The Undertaker.
Yeah, that's like literally the Mount Rushmore, whatever, you want to call it, like the Hall of Famers versus a bunch of dorks. Yeah.
All right, Triple H gets rolled up by one of the other guys, Ludwig, but then then the rest win. So
This is the Triple H that lost to Ultimate Warrior in however long it took. Richie.
Given his report reputation, I can't believe anyone would want to team with Ludwig Borga. But yeah, this is look. They might as well be called the Teamsters. That's how geeky that. I'll go team. The
Team Hall of Fame, Team All Timers,
team.
yeah, Team Attitude Era, whatever you want to call them. The main eventers.
And I'd seriously be questioning Ciampa's judgment and worrying if he's just taking the piss.
Taking the piss out of the concept. Yeah.
The last one I think could be interesting if this was a few years down the road, because the first team is the team of Pretty Deadly, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and Jeff Hardy, taking on the Samoan SWAT Team 2 of Jimmy Uso, Yokozuna, Umaga, and the Wild Samoans. JPO, who would you pick in this matchup?
I'll go with the Team 1. They, in a weird way, seem like the underdogs, but not really. They still got some pretty heavy hitters, so I'll go Team 1.
All right, Richie.
I'll go Samoan SWAT Team 2. As much as I wish, it's just.
Well, I voted the other team, so you're disagreeing.
Oh yeah. No. 2 Teat.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say TOO. My bad.
Yeah.
It's the Samoan SWAT Team 2.
No, I get what you meant now. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. As much as I like Pretty Deadly, and I wish I would use them more. But given that they were squashed 1-on-2, by Ciampa, that doesn't look likely. But yes, I think again, the Samoan SWAT Team 2 seems like a meaty team, and you know what? I can't go past a meaty team. So Samoan SWAT Team 2.
Pez.
I would probably go, at least in this one, with JPO's logic of go with the underdogs, have Cena maybe make the babyface comeback at the end, maybe they get down to 3-on-1 and he pulls that babyface underdog thing. But the Samoan thing reminded me that I was reviewing with Malcolm the Hardcore Heaven 96 and totally forgot there was a pseudo bloodline thing on that show. It was the Samoan Gangster Party, which I forgot was a thing. It was Samu and Rosie, of all things. So older Samu and fucking Rosie pre 3-minute warning. You know what I mean? In 1996, which was just weird and surreal to see. I was like, damn, even the bloodline even extends to ECW. Hot damn. It's they're everywhere. So it was another version of that. And they were chanting at Rosie, they were chanting whatever his name, I forget what his name was. It was it was Sammy or something, whatever the fuck his name was. They were chanting Yoko Tuna at him. They were calling him Yoko Tuna. The crowd was. So I was like, that's embarrassing. And he looked legitimately pissed about that. Not just a heel pissed. He looked legitimately mad. But yeah, that was funny.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I thought that was fun. I saw that video and I was like, oh, let's see. There was also there was one women's team too. It was a Mia Yim. She chose Bianca Belair, Jazz, Gail Kim, and Lita to be on her team, which I think could be a great women's team.
Yeah.
I was hoping there would be another women's team so they can go up against each other, but it's 2024. We don't fight women. But yeah, let's get into this year's actual Survivor Series, which is now being called Survivor Series War Games for the last few years. Part of me hopes that they would go back to traditional Survivor Series matches, but I also enjoy the War Games. But that's a discussion for another time. We kicked it off with the women's match. Team Rhea, Team Bianca, whoever was in charge here. I don't know. But with the team of Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley taking on Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. I believe Bayley and Nia Jax started off the match. I was surprised to see Nia start the match. Not because
who the fuck thought of that?
Yeah.
Not because who was the agent for this match? I want to smack you in the face. Why would you put Nia in first? That is so stupid, so dumb.
Why? And why would you give Nia Jackson chair as well?
The hardest chair shot this side of Hulk Hogan tapping Conan on the head. You know, if anybody remembers that.
I wonder if the camera was supposed to be on something else at that time, and she was just like,
Yeah,
the camera's not going to catch this, but I got to do something.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like the one where Naomi starts covering up, and she's like, "No," and then hits her on the side, and I'm like, "Okay, what are we doing here?" No, I think most of these War Games matches are starting to follow the same formula, and the action is decent for the most part, but it's all right. These two people are going to start, and then after
This one didn't.
Every
They did the
time someone
stupid
comes in,
shit where you had the baby faces have the advantage, which is the dumbest thing you can do in War Games.
except for that.
Yeah, which War Games only works if you have the heels have the advantage. Like, all those classic. We've watched a couple of those classic War Games matches on our retro reviews. Like, they work because you have to have the heels have the advantage. That's why they work. That's like basic War Game storytelling 101. You have to, because otherwise the baby faces look like dorks. Because they have 2-on-1, 3-on-2, and they still look like geeks, and they get beat up. That's dumb.
Yeah, and then everyone's got to get weapons before they come in, except for Raquel. Obviously, she couldn't find whatever she was looking for.
That's another annoying thing, but every woman came in, and they would go to the front of the ring skirt and notice there's no weapons in there, and then go to the thing. Every woman did that. It's like, no, go to the side. You go to the side. That's where the weapons are. Everyone went. Oh.
It's like in the video games where you have to go to different parts of the apron underneath. If remember the old SmackDown games, you get one and then they'd be empty, and you have to go to the other one and get the other one from the other thing, and then go to the other side and get another one from the other side of the apron. Like, you got to go to different places and get stuff.
And then Naomi got a toilet seat for some reason.
I love it on commentary too. Is that a toilet seat? I think that's a toilet seat.
You should have just got a kitchen sink. It'd be like everything but the kitchen sink. Actually do that joke, which they've only done occasionally, but they should have. I feel like the only time they've actually done that was that Backlash 2001 hardcore match where Raven and Rhino actually had a kitchen sink, and that was pretty great. And then when they smashed the shopping cart with it, I was like, that's great. You actually got the kitchen sink. That's cool. Somebody went to the hardware store today before the show.
Yeah, that spot was funny. He had the shopping cart above his head, and then Raven
just smashed it.
The shopping cart fell on.
Yeah, that was great. God, fucking Bailey calling spots the whole time she's in the match, because just at the top of her lungs, like John Cena style, just yelling spots left and right. Stay down, get up, do this, do that. Oh my God, just at the top of her lungs, because Nia can't remember what the fuck she's supposed to do. I feel like we had a moment where Nia was starting to get good, and she just reverted back to just being old Nia again. I don't know what's going on.
She had a good match with Lyra Valkyria, and she had a good match with I think it was Becky Lynch. I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready to put her on most improved. Oh, yeah, cool. I won't write Nia off, and then
Nope.
I think that's just more. I'll more credit that to Lyra and Becky then. All right, cool.
But yeah, no, this match it was all right. I mean, I like the EO spot. I think the double, splashes or whatever off the.
You mean after
top
Tiffany had to wait for her for an hour on top of the cage?
Except for that, yeah. It's still, I still appreciate them putting their bodies on the line, but yeah, it was kind of a mess.
I wish you would have actually cashed in on this. It would have made this match a little more exciting, honestly.
Yeah, there was the cash in tease. But obviously,
I'm just saying it would have made a fun match within a match. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, referee, while you're in here, and War Games has begun, I'm going to start my own little match right here and, pin somebody and run away and then leave the cage. You could have just left after that, just escape the cage, just run away, whatever. Because unlike other War Games matches in old NWA, this cage didn't have a top. So, their War Games, for whatever reason, doesn't have a top on the cage, which comes into play in the men's one, which was really stupid, with the announcers being like, "There's no way Roman can get in this thing." Well, yes, there is. He just climbs over and gets in. It's not impossible to get in this cage. there's no roof on it, so it's not like it's
not like a barbed wire cage where it's
Yeah, it's he got in fairly easily. Actually, he just kind of climbed in. It wasn't that much of a feat, but This match was a mixed bag, Jacob. It was a total mixed bag. Like the first half kind of sucked. Second half got a little better. With some of the bigger spots. The riptide through the table was good. Like there was some good stuff near the end. And yeah, I mean the tease was okay. I wish they had actually done it, but it is what it is. And yeah, she could even pull a swerve and like pin Liv. Like that would have been interesting. Pin the other champion. Like that would have been kind of fun. That's kind of what I was thinking about. Nothing says she has to pin Nia, you know what I mean? She could go after the other one. I wish I had done that, but yeah, I mean, it was fine. It just kind of dragged a little bit. I thought the men's one went by a little bit faster.
Yeah. Richie, thoughts on the match?
Yeah, the match was it had its clunky moments, but yeah, I always appreciate spot. It took a while, but yeah, that's so impressive. The way she did it, you can't usually use your arms in the moonsault. She couldn't do that, so it's just like, oh god. But yeah, it worked. But then obviously the tipping in the senton, which the camera didn't catch all of that at the first one. Then I want to say I called the tease of the cash in, but I did note when I was watching my friend, I'm like, oh, it's weird that she doesn't have the briefcase with her. And so to pull it out randomly, I'm like, okay, that's why. But yeah, so it was fun. And then Rhea Ripley's mask looks cool. And then when she took it off, and she looks like she kind of looks like Marilyn Manson. Unfortunately, there's not like a probably not the person you want to be compared to in 2024. But I saw Rhea Ripley shot. But yeah, I just thought that with the eye makeup, she looked like Marilyn Manson in the early 2000s. But yeah, the riptide at the top is cool. And I feel like I do feel like maybe this is probably an aside, but I feel like Bianca's gonna finally turn heel as well. I feel like she's the one that took Jade out of the match. But yeah, I don't know. She's acting a bit more heelish lately. So yeah, but
JPO, thoughts on the women's war game match?
Yeah, it kind of has been said. I really wanted to get into this more than I did. It ramps up towards that last half, once everyone's inside and we're doing the trash can spot and everything. So I warmed up to it in the end, but so it was stuff at the beginning. Maybe not the right first two entrants either. Even from the get go, I just thought maybe it was the wrong two to start it. And it has its moments that aren't that great.
Yeah, but I believe we were split on that. I think two of us had the face.
Yeah, we were totally split on that. JPO and you, Jacob, had Bianca Ripley team. Yeah.
I'll tell you what someone no one had. Match.
Yeah, holy, this next match. Jesus.
Yeah, nobody thought Shinsuke was going to win the United States Championship, and we were all wrong. I said in the group chat, I've never been more happy to be wrong.
I love his new presentation. His new music rules, and I love his. His presentation was like a badass. I was like, this new Shinsuke is cool. Hopefully they do more with it. But
yeah, I love the look.
Hey, can you fault us for not believing him when every other title match he said he's been there just to be the stepping stone for somebody to get a easy defense, for a month or 2 months, just to do matches to get to the next person? Can you blame us for not picking Nakamura, and not thinking it was just the same thing? We can't really be blamed for that. Even the crowd probably had that in the back of their heads because they were really surprised. Yeah.
I go as far as to say you're welcome for not picking him. Because I think that's why they picked him. They're like, oh, nobody thinks he has a shot in hell. Let's let him win.
Did y'all see that Lonely Marks podcast where nobody wanted Shinsuke to win?
Man, what a bunch of dickheads. They don't believe in him. We'll just swerve him.
Watch this now.
Hey, it wasn't just us. I mean, I looked at a bunch of other predictions, and nobody was picking Nakamura to win this match, at all. Not a single person.
It's not just the fact that he won. He kicked his ass.
Yeah. He didn't, and it was a convincing win. I miss the NXT days when Corey Graves would call the Kinshasa. I thought that was one of my favorite parts of the Nakamura matches. He called that spot pretty well, but yeah, I mean, a big surprise. I don't know where they go from here. Where does LA Knight go from here? I hope it's not like a hot potato situation with the title, and they're just giving Nakamura a short run to say, "Hey, thanks for sticking around all this time, even though we've, not used you properly for a few years now." I hope he goes on the length of run, holds it through WrestleMania. It'd be nice to see Nakamura finally get a nice WrestleMania moment with the title. I'm excited to see him win the United States title for the third time. JPO, your thoughts on LA Knight and Shinsuke?
Yeah. Another good, not great match here, which might be a backhanded compliment, in my opinion, because I do like both matches. Just don't love these first couple here. I thought it was cool. Like I said, so far Shinsuke has always been, especially with these last couple of years, it's been, look at this new badass side of Shinsuke, and then loses, the big one here. So kind of felt there was a little rush to get to this match, but I'm not mad at the outcome. I'm also interested too in where LA goes from here. Is he about to fall off the ladder? Is he going to turn heel? Time will tell.
Could he turn heel? Yeah. Richie, thoughts on?
Yeah, I mean, thought the match was a bit more one-sided than I was predicting as well. I mean, it was like finally, like, yeah, he's betrayed like Shinsuke's a badass before, but it's been more like 50-50, and he's like, he win matches, but then it's like when you build him up, then you kind of get cold feet, and then you like, don't pull the trigger on him and win like sort of the big one. Not necessarily saying that United States title is like big one, but it's like better than what he was doing. He was literally doing nothing for ages because they didn't know how to use it. So this is a far cry from that, which is good. And yeah, like his presentation was awesome. Then his new, like whoever, I don't know, like he must have put in a good word with somebody, because his music for the whole time he's always been great. So his new music works for him, even though it's like it's not like it's not much to his music, but it just works. That whole presentation works. So hopefully they make the most of it, and it's like a decent title reign. I don't think they don't usually do those short title reigns much anymore, unless there's a storyline reason for them.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that like he holds it at least in pretty much like early next year maybe. Like maybe that I don't know. It'd be cool if he held it to Mania or something. But this was a pleasant surprise, I'd say. Like I'm not mad that he won.
Yeah, no, Pez.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a solid like TV match. Yeah, it wasn't anything super spectacular, and I think the crowd was kind of, took a while to get into it because again, I think they had the same thoughts we had where they weren't super confident that Nakamura was going to win anyways. They thought it was kind of a, foregone outcome that LA Knight was going to win. So maybe they weren't super into it because of that. But yeah, I think they started to perk up when, Nakamura does a reverse DDT on like that plating in between the two rings, and then he's, hits another move and then he hits the Kinshasa and you're like, oh shit, wait, what? And then you wonder if he's going to kick out. It's like, nope. Oh shit, he just won the title. Like, and the crowd kind of perked up and was like, oh damn. Like, I don't mind them doing, swerve like that in a pleasant way. Yeah, again, like for a guy that, we've always liked and maybe who hasn't got a great shake. I remember when he won the Royal Rumble. You guys remember when that happened? That was yeah, and then didn't really do anything with him. So yeah, that was something. But yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens here. Who does he face next? I mean, maybe they just do a rematch really quick. I'm sure, they'll do a rematch, fairly in the immediate future. But, do we move on to like a Carmelo Hayes? That could be interesting. Carmelo goes, full babyface against a heel Nakamura. That could be fun. They could have some good stuff. Somebody else thrown in there. Any of those guys. So I think that could be interesting. And yeah, I mean, at least kind of puts him back on the map, you know what I mean? Instead of just being a guy that they use every now and then, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I am too. I'm happy for him. Hope it's nice, a nice title reign. Up next, match of the night. Maybe?
This was fucking fun, wasn't it? This was entertaining. This was awesome. This was great.
Yeah, Braun Breaker retaining his IC title over Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, who, despite only being 6'3" and 209 pounds, hits hard. I think Ludwig. I think he becomes champ sooner rather than later. I again, somebody I hope.
He had a great near fall. Like that like there was some good near falls here, like some good little or I should say the one spot where Sheamus almost won and then Ludwig pulled the ref out of the ring. That was a great near fall when he hit the brogue kick and the crowd was right there with him. That was a great near fall. Ludwig has some nice steals. Yeah, this was fucking fun, man. This was entertaining as hell. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I had high hopes going into this one. I think all three of these guys are tremendous workers. I think my favorite spot was when Ludwig's leaning on the barricade, and then Sheamus just kind of pops up and is just like glaring at him, and then does the beats, and then I think Braun comes over and he does it to him. I thought that was a cool spot, but yeah, I think we all kind of thought. I think there was a little hope for Ludwig from Richie, but I think the rest of us had Braun. I think Braun and Ludwig. I think we would have been fine. I think we talked about it. I think we would have been fine had anyone won this match because I think we'd be fine with anybody of these three holding the IC. I'm personally rooting for a Sheamus IC title reign just because it's the one that he hasn't held. But I thought this match was great. I thought this was a lot of fun. Richie, what about you?
Yeah, I thought this match ruled. It was very hard hitting. I like that moment where it was sort of like a meme worthy moment where Sheamus like just pop up from behind the ring barrier. That was really cool. The full beat to the Baron. And then just the Braun Breaker just flying, doing a flying forearm out of nowhere. That dude's a freak.
Oh, the way they shot that with the camera angle where he came into the announcer's table, and hit both of them, like it's like he flew literally off screen, like in a movie or something. Flew in like a damn missile and just clobbered both of them. It was great.
Dude, he's awesome, and that near fall was great. Yeah, I think Ludwig Kaiser is great. I think he could win the Intercontinental title. So I could see Sheamus winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, whether that be with beating Braun or beating Ludwig. I don't know. Hey, all right. If they want to do a rematch at WrestleMania, I want to be at that. Go ahead.
Hey, that three-way IC match they did for with Drew and Sheamus and Gunther, like that was a great IC three-way. You know what I mean? Like do another one with these three guys and just let them beat the hell out of each other for 15 minutes. That'd be fun.
Yeah. This match was sick. I gotta say, this match ruled, and I think it was like Braun. Yeah, they all look good, and then Braun winning. That's so good, but he looked like a dude who was he was challenged. He definitely was challenged in this match. So it was really good. It is a bit cliche. The only thing I'll say, it's not nothing to do with the match, but it's a bit cliche. All of a sudden to have an Irish person have a shillelagh all the time. It's like, we did that with Finlay. Why do we have to do that? Then we did that with Sheamus now.
But I like the fact that Ludwig, being the shit that he is, took advantage of the fact there's no DQs and just beat him with it at one point. And then they were going for chairs. Take advantage of the fact that there's no DQs in this match.
I like that. So this match was really good.
Yeah, Pez, thoughts?
No, and they told good stories in this one. You had the stuff where Braun and Sheamus were just trying to clubber each other and just have this meaty match, and then Ludwig kept interjecting himself, and eventually they were just like, "Man, piss off, you little shit!" And they both just focused their attention on him, and we're just threw him in the corner and just started clubbering him. You know what I mean? Just get the hell out of here! They just got sick of him. Yeah, that stuff was fun. Like you said, where Sheamus popped up and grabbed Ludwig and just started doing the clubbering, on the outside and beating the hell out of him, and then try to do it to Braun too, doing all of his spots. I feel like the crowd got into this one. They were having a lot of fun by the end of it. I legitimately got to the point where that Sheamus near fall was great. I had a feeling Ludwig was going to pop up because he had been out of the match for 2 or 3 minutes at that point. I was like, oh, he's going to somehow break it up, but it still worked. You know what I mean? The last minute, it was timed perfectly. He pulled the ref out right at the right spot, and blew it, and played his role perfectly as just a little weasel that's weaving his way way in and out of Braun and Sheamus just trying to beat the hell out of each other. So, good storytelling there. And yeah, you can easily do, more one-on-one matches in any given point, between these three. And then, yeah, if you want to do a rematch down the line, I'm totally with it. So, yeah, this might have been the one that I was most entertained by. I'll just say that.
Apparently, Sheamus legit cracked his rib in this match.
There was a couple of injuries coming out of the show because we'll talk about there was 2 in the men's War Games also.
What do you think about this match,
JPO?
This might be match of the night. If you're just going for straightforward 3 guys beating the shit out of each other, fun moments. Shout out to Ludwig. I want to show him some love because this is his first major match on a pay-per-view. He was in a 6-man, with Sheamus and whatnot before, but this is his first solo kind of outing. So shout out to him for getting some shout out because I was afraid for a while there they were treating him as as bad as Aiden English for Rusev or for Virgil for the NWO. He was very much like we're gonna feature him for 2 minutes on Raw to get the Gunther kind of guy.
The whipping boy.
Finally, yeah, he really was. But not just the whipping, even the jobber guy too, the squash guy. So I'm glad to see that they see something in him because I do think he's talented as well. They put on a really good match. This is very, very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. And speaking of really, really solid, I thought the World Heavyweight Championship match was also really, really solid. Damian Priest and Gunther running it back. Gunther retaining after, I believe it was nearly 20 minutes. They gave him a decent amount of time.
Almost 19:20 on the official clock on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So almost 20 minutes. Yeah, good chunk of time there.
Yeah, I think I think they told a good story here. I think Damian Priest sold the shoulder, the arm really well. Yeah, I think I just love Gunther's style because I don't think he wrestles every match the same, but his style it's always the same. But every match, I think whoever he's working with he adapts to their style.
Well, if he's doing a big man, little man match with somebody smaller than him, he plays like the giant who just, swatting them and chomping them and, playing the clubbering guy. If he's doing somebody that can match wits with him like Damian or can match strikes, that he's a little bit intimidated by, he plays kind of the more reserved, strategic, wrestler, just looking for those advantages. Because there was a good moment here, like you said, the storytelling, Jacob, of when Damian started to hold his shoulder. The kudos to the director, by the way, whoever was directing the cameras, because they got a really good shot of Gunther having this aha moment on his face, he had and it was good selling on Gunther's part where he was just oh, okay, now I got something here, and then he immediately just goes for it, you know what I mean, and like the light bulb, you could see the light bulb clicking on in his head, you know what I mean, of this is how I beat this guy. And then and he goes to work, like you said, a different style, the way he works, with whoever he's doing. If you're doing something bigger than him, obviously he can play a little bit under, but it's a little, he's very good about that as far as changing, adapting even the character to who he's facing.
Yeah, and it did seem almost like he was the underdog, and I think obviously leading up to this match, Damian Priest has been able to get one up on him almost every single time. And so I think it did feel like he was the underdog, and it did seem like he was wrestling that type too. I think they had some really good spots. Like I said, I think Damian sold the arm really well. I don't know. I want to hear your guys' thoughts too. I'm not sure how I feel about the Finn Balor interference. Was it because is he not done with Damian? Does he want a title shot? Obviously everybody wants a title shot. I think I'm just kind of over Finn Balor and Damian. I feel like it's been going on for way too long. I would have rather there just been a clean finish. I think Damian would be okay if he lost clean to Gunther. If play the match out the same way, same finish. He doesn't give up, but he passes out without the Finn Balor outside interference. I think I would have liked this match a little bit more, and I think it would have been on par with the triple threat for me personally. I'm kind of over Finn and Damian. I get that he wants a title match or whatever, but I'm just kind of over it. As far as like that's my only nitpick with the match. Pez, what did you think of Gunther?
Yeah, I'm split on the interference. Like, again, like I said earlier, I like that, when after Finn interfered, Gunther was like, well, fuck you, get the hell out of here. I don't need you. Like, I was already beating the guy, like I had my strategy. I was working on the arm, I'm going to beat this guy. He's still a heel, so he still took advantage of the interference, but like, he's just like, get out of here. So I appreciate that aspect of it. Maybe it was just for that spot, just so they could start setting that up. I guess that might have been the only reason, just for storyline purposes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you. If you're going to do a finish anyways, where he still just essentially passes out clean in a submission, you know what I mean? Anyways, it's like, yeah, you probably didn't need that. It is what it is. But you got to set up some other stuff. But yeah, again, good storytelling. I think overall, I kind of still prefer the SummerSlam match just because I like those meaty, just beat the hell out of each other matches, and I feel like they did more of that in the SummerSlam match, where it's like he was throwing more of those forearms, and those kicks, and the chops, and like making Gunther bleed and all that. Like they didn't really chop each other in this match, or really hit each other like that much. It was more about the submissions and the holds. So I might have just preferred on an entertainment level the SummerSlam match a little bit more, just because that's the kind of match I like. You know, these guys beating the hell out of each other. So he got a few good ones in. Gunther still had some nice handprints on him there was a sequence where Damien just went like, "Kapow, kapow, kapow," like 3 or 4 times in a row and got him. But, crowd started getting into that. I wish they had done a little bit more. But, still, again, a good, solid, match. I feel like Gunther's always just had really good, solid matches and some fun stuff. So, yeah, we'll see where this goes. I guess we're getting a Gunther Finn Balor match, so we'll see how that goes, even just story-wise. And we'll see, if he hangs on to it till Mania and who they set him up for. I feel like they're setting up Gunther and CM Punk, maybe
possible. Maybe that's.
I don't know, or I don't know. If Punk's facing Rollins. I don't know. Yeah, where they're going exactly. Like for Mania, like who Gunther might face there. I don't know. So we'll see. But still, solid match. I just may have preferred the SummerSlam one just slightly a little more.
Yeah, my only other thought for Gunther at Mania, if it's not CM Punk, because they do want to go CM Punk Rollins and stretch it out for the next 4 months, would be John Cena. Give him one last title match at WrestleMania.
Well, that's what I thought too. Is like because I had talked about that kind of match when we talked about the Cena opponents when we did the rank 'em. Is like I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther and Cena, because Cena could play the underdog, like guy facing this monster, and he plays that role really well in those matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Under, and that would still be a big match for Mania. Like, not saying Cena has to go over. He would put Gunther over. Like he would, he wouldn't mind, especially on his, he does that all the time. But I think it could be a fun big star match and something fresh that we haven't seen.
Yeah, sure. I think they did. He doesn't have to win the Rumble. But I think they did announce that he's going to be in the Elimination Chamber match one last time. So that could be the way
he could win the Chamber, not the Rumble, and still get the world title match. And then whoever wins the Rumble could face Cody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could still do that. He faces Gunther, you know what I mean? And Gunther could win at Mania, and you could still have that. So yeah, that's a possibility as well. I mean, I think it's on the table.
Yeah.
We'll see.
JPO, thoughts on Gunther versus Damien?
No, I liked it. I think if someone else said it, I maybe prefer their SummerSlam match a little bit better. I think there was more oomph and question to it too. This was very much I feel a foregone conclusion that Gunther's walking out as champ, to a very large degree. So I thought it was so good with what they were given.
Richie.
Yeah, I like the match. I do prefer the SummerSlam match because it felt like more of a fight. But I do like this. Weirdly enough, because I didn't have this in my bingo card, if you want to see like a more of a fight and see Gunther bleed from chops, Dominic Mysterio in the match made Gunther bleed from a chop. That is weird. But
maybe Gunther has like his chest is softened up because he's been bleeding a lot from the chest lately. So we're getting in a few shots there. Yeah.
Yeah. Dominic Mysterio, it was like she's letting him hit him, and he hit hard.
Don't put him in the ring with Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong will make that fucker gush. Good God. Yeah.
But I thought the match was good. I don't mind the interference so much because what I think is going to happen. This is what I would say, but I'm wrong. Sometimes. So could go could go either way. I think, you're going to have Finn Balor and Gunther, but then I think Damian Priest is going to get involved. And then at the Royal Rumble, you do a triple threat match, Gunther, and then Gunther retains. And then you do Finn Balor, the Finn Balor, the final, the blow for the feud, Finn Balor and Damian Priest WrestleMania, which is what we predicted for our WrestleMania prediction.
With some kind of what did I say? Some kind of judgment match, whatever the fuck that means. That's what I think it's got to be, something related to that. I called it like a final judgment match. I think when I predicted it, whatever that means. That could just be like a last man standing or something, a street fight, whatever. But call it like some final judgment bullshit, whatever. Kind of like bloodline rules. We don't know what it means. It just means you can fight, do whatever you want.
I just think that's a logical step. Is that I think I'm not too 100% sure of the triple threat, but it makes sense.
That would I think they could do that, and everybody could still be involved, and you can have multiple stories going on in that match at once. Yeah. And that'd be a perfectly fine undercard, like world title match, where you're pretty sure what's going to happen, but still have a fun match underneath the Rumble.
Yeah, but I guess I watched too much UFC too, because when he was doing the finish, the choke at the end, I'm like, he doesn't even have it under the chin. He doesn't have the choke in front leg. He's got a neck crank. But anyway, and then I'm like, it's wrestling, Richie. Anyway, but it was a good solid match. These two are great wrestlers, so I wasn't expecting anything, but less than good. I do prefer the SummerSlam matches because that was big, more meaty.
Yeah, I like my meaty matches, Jacob. If you guys haven't figured that out. Still like my meaty matches. I'm going to rewatch my meaty match of the year, that three-way from NXT from earlier this year with Dijak and Josh Briggs and Obafemi again. Yeah, because it's going to make my top 5 or 10 or whatever by end of the year. Because goddamn, was that fun! That was the meatiest match of this year. It was great. So,
Obafemi's another guy who'll probably be on the main roster next year, I would say.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, it could be. I can see that guy being a nice. In a nice, upper mid, IC title, US title kind of contender guy, you know what I mean? Just to get started, like, for sure.
Yeah.
Right in there.
All right. We finally get into the main event. And had I known that Shinsuke Nakamura was going to win the United States title, I probably would have picked the OG Bloodline to win, because that would have been 4 heels in a row going over, and I don't think that just doesn't happen. But again, I had no idea Shinsuke was going to win. I'm not bitter about losing the predictions at all.
Well, no, to be fair, no one did, so you're fine.
Yeah, no one predicted that. It is what it is. Yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, again, it's not our fault that they booked Nakamura to be a total loser in every title match he's been in. So that's not our fault for thinking that they would just, keep the same trend. How many times did he fight AJ Styles and lose? Like 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
God, that was
Rollins twice, and
you know what I mean?
Great. They should have been great matches.
Lost to Jinder Mahal for the title.
Yeah.
Lost to Cody Rhodes. Yeah.
So, main event, the men's War Games match, the OG Bloodline, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk, who is not a member of the OG Bloodline, but just doing Paul Heyman a favor, taking on the new Bloodline of Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Bronson Reed. I would be interested to see if Bronson Reed stays with the group going forward. When he, spoilers, returns from an injury he may have sustained during the match.
Yeah, they're saying it's like some kind of ankle injury, but it's not like super serious, but he might be, off maybe for a month or something like that. I mean, it's not going to be, I think it's enough where like he'll be off, but he'll probably be back for the Rumble. You know what I mean? Like he'll be back in time for the Rumble. He's got a month and a half. He's got a month and a half, 2 months before the Rumble. He'll be fine. It's an ankle injury. It's not that bad. I think he was walking around in a boot apparently, so he'll be okay. Those don't take that long to heal up. He didn't like tear muscles or anything. He might have, twisted his ankle up kind of bad, sprained his ankle pretty good. So he'll be all right. Jimmy Uso also in the same spot pretty much. Broke his toe.
Yeah.
But again, that's not going to put you out forever. He'll be fine in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Those things heal up pretty quick. You tape them up,
Right.
you tape them together, you're fine. Not a major injury. So all these guys should be fine for the Rumble. So that's good news.
Yeah, and then a guy I thought got injured, but just decided mid-match, like, I'm gonna sell this as I got injured and just throw everybody off.
Apparently it was like he legit kind of slipped on the thing and landed awkwardly and just reverted back to the thing they did in that other match where he was selling his leg, to where he was
right.
Where he dived up into the announce table,
yeah, and then just sold it for the rest of the match like that. So that was actually kind of improv, but it made sense, because it's a nice callback to, oh, did he re-injure his leg? Because even the announcers were like, oh, did he re-injure his leg from the other thing? Blah blah blah. Like, so apparently he actually kind of legit like sort of slipped on it, but just played it off like it was just part of it. But great, it works.
He's really good at selling, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, he's really good at it. Even my girl was like, "Is he? Oh my god, I think he really hurt his knee." I'm like, "No, it's kind of a callback to the other thing. I'm pretty sure he's okay." It's because he was still doing stuff. But it's still good on him because he's a good seller. Jacob Fatu is great, by the way. Headline news. I know it's breaking news, but unbelievable. But Jacob Fatu is a really good wrestler, and he's very, very good.
That dude's got a good future.
He's going to have a hell of a 2025. Yes.
Yeah.
JPO, you're muted, so I couldn't hear what you said.
Still muted.
You're still muted.
I gotta give me a second to unmute people. No, I was gonna say, when we get, you're also an Osprey fan over here.
What?
That's a joke because you were making this joke. I don't know. I'll quit. I quit. That was
it. Bold prediction, but maybe not so bold prediction.
Jacob Fatu will get a push in 2025. I predict.
Final four in the Rumble. I think he will be part of that Final four.
He could be. He'd be cool if he was in the Rumble. That'd be actually great because it'd be like, hey, who could eliminate this motherfucker? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that could be a nice interjection, and you can have some nice encounters between him and other big meaty guys, or some other people on Raw. You know what I mean? Have him face off with Braun Breaker or Sheamus or some of those other kind of big dudes. Have them have a little face off. So old school Rumble stuff. Have meaty guys face off. That's one of the great things about the Rumble is you can do these little teases, and you don't have to have anybody beat anybody. They can just have some interactions. Clubber each other a little bit, have some fun.
Yeah, see, Obafemi would be good in that spot too. Like Obafemi comes out, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Ozzy Jones.
Anyway,
James Ellsworth. Okay. Anyway.
Just testing off six.
Jay and Thomas started the match. Jay getting his own. I fast forwarded through the entrances actually because I started watching a little late, and
Jay got like the biggest reaction on his entrance. He was so over, dude. He was super
stopped
over.
At his entrance, but I believe they said that the new bloodline, they all came out.
Yes, they did.
Together, and then the OG, they all kind of came out separately. And I love that they brought that up on commentary, and it's like. Yeah, I mean, and Jay's gonna get this moment. Yeah, no, he had a good reaction. I still don't know the sound that Tama Tonga is making. Whatever he's saying, it's starting to get over with some crowds though. They're starting to do it with him. This is the one where it made sense, Pez. The heels had the advantage.
Yes, this is classic war game storytelling. You have the heels go in first and have the advantage, and then what do? The next heel comes in and they beat the hell out of the thing and get the crowd chanting for the next person to come save them. Because what do? Well, actually, this is one where I didn't mind the swerve of the bigger guy coming in early, where they sent Bronson in second. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. Send the big meaty guy in there to beat up on Jay. Get the underdog thing, and then naturally you have Jimmy come in, and the Usos run wild, and do their double teams. It made sense.
They didn't think that Tanalo was still a cuck. I said that. I said Tanalo.
He was about to go in, and Solo's like, "No, get back, you stupid."
I said I even said that when I was watching. Tanalo is such a cut. Yeah, he was going. He said, "No, you get back here. We don't get right here." And then
get back here. I'm sending Bronson. Get out of here. Yeah.
You would think if Reigns doesn't like Punk, he might not want to spend all this time in a cage with him. So maybe he does want him to go out first, but he stopped him and told Sammy like, no, you're next. And then we got that cool picture of Reigns leaning on one side, Punk on the other.
like children in school facing opposite walls, or something like, in corners in timeout or something like that. I'm just like, I don't like you anymore, man.
That clip of him doing that was their most viewed clip on their YouTube channel of all year. Like 17 million people I think viewed them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's viewed 17 million times. I don't know. There could be people watching it multiple times. 300.
But yeah, no, I thought this was really good. I thought the kind of story being told between Punk and Reigns, and kind of towards the end, Reigns, he might not like Punk, but he kind of respects him for helping out. Heyman kind of coming down, kind of having to be the peacemaker between them. I thought they'd give the heels the win, kind of give them a big push, give them some momentum, kind of tease some dissension between Reigns and Punk, and that's the reason they didn't win. But I'm happy to be wrong, because I thought the story that was being told here was great. I love Punk, posing with them, but he's only doing this. I thought everything about this was really good.
Well, I like Roman was about to go in and Punk jumped the gun and like ran in before him. That was a good spot. Where Roman was about to go in and save all of his friends, and Punk's like, nope, me first, bitch.
Yeah.
He just ran. But then of course, again, good story till he runs, but then like the Bloodline guys are like just waiting for him to get in the ring, you know what I mean? So like he has to pause for a second and maybe has second thoughts, and then gets his toolbox, to use. So
I like when Punk came out, like initially when they introduced that they blacked something out, because obviously he was trying to roll up Jacob Fatu, and I don't know what.
Apparently he improvised that. He went over there and like flicked them off right in their face, like that was totally improv on his part, just like getting them riled up. But I mean, it's something Punk would do, so it was fun.
Well, I think the reason they did that, and I could be totally mistaken, I think Jimmy gave him the finger, which I'm like, all right, well, your product's a PG still, right? I don't.
Well, why would you? They're on a PLE, so I don't know.
Yeah, again, why the screen would go black? You're on Peacock.
Yeah, hopefully, I know they're saying like it's. Nick Khan said recently, so I think it's going to be like more the same, like Netflix. But I have to think that on Netflix, they're going to let.
Well, I think it would be like this. It's not like when they get on Netflix, they're going to turn into CZW and be like ultra violent, you know what I mean, and ultra crazy. But I think it's one of those things where like they'll stay the course, but if they drop some curses here every now and then, do a little blood every now and then, they're not going to like pull away from it, so to speak, you know what I mean? Or just like let it happen when it's appropriate for the moments, and they won't have to like censor themselves. But yeah, I don't think they're going to go full like back to Attitude Era, thongs and F words. It's like people think it's going to go back to like 1998, and it's like it's not. Like they're not going to go back to that. But I'm just mean like they can let a few things slip here and there, and then get a little edgier. Just when they need to, when it's appropriate to do so occasionally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
if there's a heated promo and somebody says bullshit or something like, just let it go. You know what I mean? Or like, F you, whatever.
You got Pat McAfee commentary. He's going to say what he wants.
Yeah. He's not going to have to like censor himself, whatever. And like, it's not that big a deal. They're just not going to be that big a deal about it. But yeah, it's not like they're going to go full on barbed wire light tubes, F-bombs, women, and wearing nothing. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that again. Like I feel like people are expecting that, and it's like that's not what's going to happen. They're just going to let it go a little bit, when they need to. It's fine.
Right.
I feel like they've at least gotten back to allowing blood when it's appropriate. Punk and Drew, in the cage. Letting them both get. Like remember for a while it was just like no blood whatsoever. Like oh my god, somebody started bleeding. Get the doctor in there and patch him up. You know what I mean? Like I hate to bring it to you guys. Blood is sometimes appropriate when it's a blood feud, okay? There's a reason they call it a blood feud. Like, you need it sometimes when it's appropriate for a grudge match where two guys hate each other. It's okay to do a match that gets bloody. It's perfectly fine.
Although I would say it would probably, this match could have used some blood.
It could have used a little blood. I actually thought there could have been something. Like, yeah, I'm not saying like everybody had to bleed, but if they gang up on CM Punk and get him a little bloody or something like that, maybe Fatu and a couple of those guys gang up on him, put a little color into the match, because those old classic war games where like everybody was bleeding all over the place, it like added to the drama. And some of that's because it's essentially still a big cage match. Like, you could have done a little bit, at least something, one or two people.
Yeah,
I feel like you can bust open Tangaloa. He's a cook anyways, right? So you know what I mean. Like, bust him open a little bit. Open him up a little bit. That's fine. He can be that guy.
But JP, what were your thoughts on the main event? Not just Jay, but the whole thing.
Yeah, and the entire thing. No, I feel you. No, I had fun. It's not my favorite war games, but it's a pretty good WWE war games. You know what I mean? Like, a little more toned down, but still good storytelling. I enjoyed the people that were in it here. More to come. Obviously, I mean, we still, we saw The Rock back at Bad Blood. Who knows where he stands? So, I'm still invested in the story to a degree. So, it's good.
Speaking of The Rock, holy shit! I kept waiting for his music to hit at the end of the show.
And I watched it, I think, with Tato, and I was like, no.
Well, they kept to be fair, they kept doing these camera angles where like they would have them like standing, but they were a little off center to the side, and like the entranceway was like right center of the screen, and I was like, and now, like, and then like even when they were posing, there was like suspiciously a nice little shot of the entranceway. I thought like, okay, now they're posing. If you smell, you know what I mean? Like, I kept waiting for it. Like,
everyone's posing, and Punk hasn't posed yet, and you're like, is he waiting to be interrupted? Is he waiting to get interrupted?
Yeah. I kept waiting for it, like, for them to do some kind of face-off. I didn't expect them, like, to get physically involved, but like another one of those like ominous face-offs, like, oh, I've been watching what's going on. Like, I just saw that whole match. I saw what went down. Because like I think it might. I thought it was going to be something where Rock is going to show, and who knows? He could show up on SmackDown tomorrow. We don't know this. He could, as in the part of the Fallout. Like, he could show up on SmackDown at any time, and like, I think he's going to totally take over that solo spot and be like, you fucking loser. Like, give me that stupid Ulafala. Like, I'm the goddamn tribal chief, not you fucking loser. Like, you failed every time. Like, I'm the real goddamn tribal chief. Like, get out of here. And like, that could, set up some stuff down the line. You know what I mean? Like, that could start setting up the inevitable Rock and Roman thing that we would actually want to see this time as opposed to last year. You know what I mean? Like, actually earn it, and actually the crowd wants to see a match like that. So I wouldn't
hate that. But I totally blanked out what I was going to say about The Rock. But I know. Yeah, I could, if he doesn't show up on SmackDown, I could see him showing up on the first Raw on Netflix as well. Huge star. You want like big attention on your first night on Netflix. I could see him showing up on that.
I feel like his next appearance is pretty inevitable because that's the next logical step is Rock coming in to take over the new bloodline now that Solo has failed in his efforts. You know what I mean? Like, he comes in and steps in and starts the Rock Roman stuff. You know what I mean? Eventually.
Yeah.
At least gets that ball rolling. You know what I mean? Like, does something with that. So maybe like Roman's about to take back the Ulafala, and Rock's like, oh, hang on. I'm the real tribal chief, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, so, something like that. I feel like if he doesn't show up in the next couple of weeks on SmackDown, either Saturday night's main event, Raw on Netflix. There's still some big events coming up. You know what I mean? Before WrestleMania, that you could definitely start working them in.
Yeah, I do. Just going back to the War Games match, I think it's I like the match. I thought it was really good. I'm not surprised Bronson Reed did it. He's crazy and jumped off the thing. He did it weirdly enough. He did like probably a few weeks earlier. I don't know why I didn't know when it was recorded, but like it was released a few weeks earlier. Did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, because everybody does. And he said that as a kid he idolized Mick Foley and he would jump off his roof and shit. And it's like, So he just likes jumping off those things, and it is funny that they act shocked when people jump off things, but there's just a suspiciously placed platform for people to jump off. Just for people can stand up. Man.
Those corners, yeah.
It's corners. That looks, kind of like. But yeah, no. But the match is good. And I actually like the whole the Punk and Roman dissension, and then when Punk they were to they both sort of saved each other. I also like that spot where Punk gave Jake Flash a bulldog on the toolbox. He just stood up. It's like that was good.
He stood up and then gave Punk that jumping Samoan drop thing or whatever. Yeah, that he does.
That ruled. I was just like, I think even though they lost, they made it look strong, and them teaming up on Solo made sense at the end. I like the match. It's not the best War Games match, but it's still very solid.
Pez?
Yeah, no, I mean, just to kind of wrap up and echo everything you said. Yeah, I like the storytelling of it. There was enough great moments again that kept you invested. Even just the stuff in the cages when they were waiting, the little swerves where they sent Jacob Fatu out third, instead of fourth or fifth. I thought that was a nice swerve where they, cut off Tagaloa again. And they cut him twice, and it was like, nope, Jacob Fatu's going in right now. And again, a nice little thing because I think the crowd perked up, for that. Punk kind of jumping the gun on Roman. Everybody looked good. Bronson looked good. Fatu looked good. The Usos looked good doing their double teams. Punk and Roman. Everybody got their spots. Everybody got their chance to shine and do what they do. They still protected Jacob. You know what I mean? He still had really great moments where he was dominating, and when they did put him down, it's because people were triple teaming him. You know what I mean? People were ganging up on him and doing stuff. So that was fine. And it made sense for all of them to gang up on Solo at the end and all hit their moves and put them away and do the thing. So again, is it a match of the year? Maybe not. I don't know. Best cage match of the year this year is probably still CM Punk and Drew. In the Hell in a Cell. But still really good storytelling. Everything progressed. Everything looked good. You see kind of where they go from here. I just was expecting a run. My parents. I think the crowd was too. Honestly, the crowd was kind of waiting for that music to hit. They would have popped for it. But maybe it just sets up for him to show up on SmackDown or Saturday Night's Main Event or something like that. We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll kind of wrap it up here and give our overall thoughts. Mm-hmm. And if you're at out of 10, JPO, what would you give this year's Survivor Series?
I always go first. One person last time.
I wanted to before you fell asleep again.
You didn't have to say that. I could have just been because you're my friend. God damn it.
Well, that too.
Bullshit. 7.
Richie?
Yeah, I'm probably a bit higher. I mean that Intercontinental title match put over that's really good. The last War Games match is really good, and I like the surprise of Nakamura winning. So I'd probably go. I'll go an 8. I reckon. I think it was all in all. I said pretty decent, a pretty good show here. Nothing historically bad, other than the booking decision of having Nia Jax go first and then her spots. Unfortunately, you're out of the running for most improved. Okay, and I'm sure that's going to hurt you. So I'll go about an 8.
Pez?
Yeah, I'll split the difference and go a 7.5. I mean, I think it's a case where the show kind of got better as it went. The back half was kind of better than the first half because the women's War Games was a little rocky, like we said, a little mixed, had its moments, but was very rocky. And then the Nakamura LA Knight wasn't a bad match, but I think a lot of people weren't really invested in it, including the crowd, until that finish. Until Nakamura actually went over. So that was a good moment to see Nakamura go over. So that definitely gets a notch. But the 3-way was really really fun and kind of a show stealer. Again, Gunther and Priest, if you're looking for that, really, really solid, just good world title match. And then, yeah, the War Games was really good. And again, maybe more so for the storytelling and whatnot, but that's fine because you need those storytelling matches where they progress stories, they, have those good moments and have those good interactions. They've done great, giving everybody something to do in these matches, they gave everybody something to do. So, yeah, I mean, again, a fairly memorable one. So, but, not like again, no, if you don't have any kind of match of the year candidates, I think it always kind of, I can't really reach that 8.5 threshold unless you have one of those on there. I kind of feel like, and everything else is really solid. So I'll go 7.5.
Yeah, I think me and JPO are seeing eye to eye on this one. I think I'm at a 7. Yeah, it started off really, really rocky with those first two matches. But the surprise of Nakamura winning kind of, ups that a little bit. And then, yeah, we got 2 really solid title matches following that. And then, yeah, good storytelling in the War Games main event. So I think it got better as it went on. Just that rocky start kind of lowers it down a little bit. I came across an article on Bleacher Report. They did a power ranking of all 12 PLEs that WWE has put on. Where do you think they put Survivor Series?
In the middle.
Last. They think this is the worst.
I disagree with that.
Disagree.
Yeah.
I have to go through the
So, which brings me to my idea. I know IT is doing a the 30 under 30, but why don't we do another rank 'em style next week, and we can rank the 12 PLEs ourselves.
Okay.
Just so like we'll come up with our own rankings or what?
Yeah, so it'll kind of be like if you've ever been on like a franchise ranking for rank 'em, you just immediately go into the ranking. So we'll all do our number 12 and then do it that way, and then we'll talk about it and see like kind of say why we're putting it, why we think it's towards the bottom and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll have to go back and look up the Wikipedias and the results of everything to remind myself of a couple of those. But, I can see maybe where they're coming from on a few things. But I seem to recall at least 1 or 2 of these being just kind of forgettable. But maybe it's just me.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the other ones that, like, maybe people were blinded by, like, the crowd being great, but, like, the matches not, I don't know. Just, like, I don't know. I can't imagine. What do we get Bashable in? I don't know. But I can't remember. I don't think this is the worst. But
yeah, there's literally some where I forgot like what the matches were on the card. You know what I mean? I was like, this year's like Crown Jewel. You know what I mean? I was like, what happened there? Oh yeah, that like Bland, Cody, and Gunther. Man, that was just like a month ago. You know what I mean? I was like, I feel like I don't know. Yeah, like the King and Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, some of those usually aren't like awesome sometimes, but yeah.
I mean, I think most of the shows have been solid. You know what I mean? I'll have to be a little nitpicky with a few of them, but I feel like even some of the lesser ones, like again, I'm not just spoiling the rankings, but I just mean like they probably ranked Backlash pretty high because that France crowd was great. You know what I mean? So like that probably elevated what otherwise would have been like a kind of average show to like much better. Same with Clash of the Castle.
Number 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying because like it's just more memorable because of the crowd, more than anything. And the match, even if the matches were fine, you know what I mean, but like the crowd made it special. Same with Clash of the Castle, you know what I mean? Shit like that. So yeah, we'll see. I'll have to go back and kind of remember some of these cards and look at the cards up and down and the storylines and the angles and like the moments and mull that over a little bit. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. We can do that next week, sure. Yeah. Jacob's had one in the bag for a little while, so we'll let him go first. As far as like I said, we got a couple of dead. We got next 2 weeks are kind of dead, so we can definitely do some stuff. And then what we can actually do is I was thinking we might do a double dose of rankings. We can do yours, and then the week after that it's a really dead week, so we might do JPO's. We might finish off that Rank 'em series for JPO, the 2020 to now. Rank them, the top 12. As far as who the top 12 guys are in the last 4 years. So I think we could definitely do that, and we'll get somebody on for that.
Definitely. Tell JPO what you want to do.
Oh, well, the week, I think it's a perfect week to do it because we could do, well, JPO might have to be there because we got to do World's End predictions that same day, but we can do that quickly. But yeah, so that for that 26th, the day after Christmas, Jacob's not going to be here. But before December is over, JPO, we're doing December to Dismember as my pick. We're doing it.
Oh,
We're watching it. Yeah, we're going back and we're watching December to Dismember. So we're gonna check it out before December's up because I teased it last year and we didn't do it. And I think that week would be perfect because Jacob doesn't care. He's not gonna be here, and he wouldn't watch it anyways. So we can do we'll do World's End predictions that week, and then we'll jump in and do a little December to Dismember. So and again, if you don't watch the JPO, that's fine. You can hit us with where the fuck did these people go after this pay per view, that sort of thing, or what the hell happened, with some of these people on the roster, things like that. But yeah, pretty infamous show. I want to go revisit it and see if it's as bad. I suspect it is, but I want to see if it's as bad as advertised as it was.
So which week will be free? So for like, I haven't really ironed out what I'm doing, but like what?
Probably the week after that, because then, or actually, we have a lot of time in January as well, because literally, so I promise we'll probably do like a double dose for you, Richie, in January, most likely.
Yeah.
Because we'll have a World's End review the week after that, because there will be a pay-per-view, and then literally the next pay-per-view after that won't be till February 1st for the Rumble. So we'll have like 3 weeks of nothing, you know what I mean, of like nothing going on. I mean, it'll be like, so we'll do a double dose of you. We'll whatever you want to do one week. If you want to do a draft 1 week and a show 1 week, whatever you want to do. So we'll figure it out. But I figured that's a good way to lay everything out, and we'll get to everybody, I promise. So yeah. That's a good solid layout for the next couple weeks, and I think that'll work. Yeah, Saturday night's main event, we'll just talk about when it happens. We'll watch it, we'll talk about it, kind of give our thoughts, the highlights, because it's not like a pay-per-view. We'll just talk about it if anything happens. Same thing with the the week of the because post World's End will also be. We'll review that, and the following week we can do a topic, but we can also talk about the Raw on Netflix. So that'll probably be a big show. The first show that week, there'll probably be some newsworthy things on that show. So we can. It'll be a big show. So we'll do another topic as well, but that'll be a big topic that week, as also because I'm sure they'll have some big names and big stars and surprises on that show. So there'll be things to talk about. And they actually announced another Saturday night's main event for January 25th as well, the week before the Rumble. Literally the week before the Rumble. So you can imagine they'll do some matches to kind of maybe set up the Rumble and also plug the shit out of the Rumble on that, which is a smart idea. They'll plug it all over NBC, you know what I mean? Get people to watch it. Do some other matches that you could build, almost like matches that you can't do on the Rumble. They'll do on Saturday night's main event. You know what I mean? Like blow off some stuff.
Do a world title match. Do one on Saturday night's main event. Do the other
on Rumble. You know what I mean? You could do IC title match on one, US title match on another. Maybe do tag team matches on Saturday night's main event. Maybe get them showcased at least maybe on there. If you can't do it on the Rumble, do it on Saturday night's main event. That's a perfect spot for it. Get the Motor City Machine Guns on there. Come on, give them a spot. Give them a spot, people. Come on, let them shine a little bit. God damn it. Do something with them.
I can't wait to see them at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Hopefully the ratings for the Saturday night's main event are decent enough that they can do it sort of semi-regularly. You know what I mean? I like the, every few months.
Do it like every 2 months. You know what I mean? That seems good. And if they strategically position it like this one will definitely be to promote the Rumble, like that's what it seems like, on January 25th. And then if they did another one, let's say before WrestleMania, you could do like one like 2 weeks before WrestleMania, kind of plug it, maybe do a few matches on there, a few showcases, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I think that was the idea around the mid 2000s, and then like they just gave up on it, and it became like Heat.
Yeah.
So, but I like the idea of it. So looking forward to it.
Well, especially if it's a cross-promotional thing too, and you can do matches from both brands on there. Get them all together. It's a good way to do that too. And showcase some of the matches you might not do on pay-per-view, but do some tag teams, do some mid-card feud stuff. Do one big match, even if it's not a title match. Get some stars on the main event, things like that. So, works for me. Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'll plug these all into our calendar so I remember what we're doing every week. But so I guess we'll call it rank the 2024 pay-per-views, right? And then the following week we'll do maybe we'll go ahead and do JPOs. Yeah, we'll do a proper rank them. Do the 20, finish off the series. Do the 2020 to now. Who's the best of the current the current crop, and then yeah, we'll do December just to do a breezy one after Christmas. You know what I mean? Just a silly breezy show after Christmas, no pressure, and then we'll do some World's End and some Saturday Night's End, Netflix, all that kind of stuff. And then Richie, I promise we'll get to you. You'll have plenty of time to think about your topics, do whatever you want. We'll do some stuff, whatever you want to do in January. All right. Then we'll get to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do some plugs and get out of here for a shorter pay-per-view. We sure did.
We did a longer show because there was a lot of news, though. There was a fairly big news week. So, yeah, we've had a couple of weeks where there's not a lot of news. We're like scraping up whatever we can talk about, so it's fine.
Right.
There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of storylines going on, a lot of stuff for the next few months. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of big things coming up, like I said, with Saturday Night's Main Event, with the Netflix debut, with with the Rumble, angles starting to set up, there's a lot going on, so we might have a lot of things to talk about over the next few weeks.
So, JP, I know this is probably also your third show of the day.
Yep.
So, where else can the people find you?
Yeah, guys, you know me over at the Pearsco. Lots of shenanigans, trivia. We do the long time, first time Thursdays at 8, calling in. Everyone's welcome to come hang out. Rich hang out with us a little bit before that.
You had quite a few call-ins tonight, didn't you? Oh, a lot of
it's a nice packed show. Nice packed show. Yeah, that's kind of what we want. I like tonight's show. It was one of the probably top 2 or 3 of the 14 as far as call-in wise. So yeah, definitely. That's what we'd like to see. So and everyone's invited, man. Talk to us. Let's hear about a movie you saw, whether you loved it or hated it. And then Movie Hero Network. I'll be popping up on that both Friday and Sunday. Coming for that win Sunday, baby. In the 20s. I ain't scared. If I was number 1, I would have been scared either way, baby, because I am the Iron Man previously before as well. And then, all over the place, Combat Wrestling Trivia over on Twitch. Lights Out, I just managed over on Lights Out, plus I'm the current tag champ. And, Multiplex, all that jazz.
JPO, you're 2 spots after Robert Meyer Burnett. You might get to be on screen with him. That's pretty cool.
Hey, that's cool, man. Yeah,
I told Richie the consolation prize for being number 1 is he's going to be in the same starting group as Howell Rudnick and Jeff Snyder. That's pretty cool. So that's all right.
Richie, you want to trade?
Yeah.
I until I heard that, I would say absolutely, but no.
I'm gonna take a nap for the first hour of the stream, and
you're in that last couple of spots, so you got a prime spot to come through and be the underdog and win it, Jacob, if you hang on. But more than likely, Jeremy Paul Adams will still be on stream, and he's probably gonna kick your ass most likely. He's really, really good. He did a tournament match and he literally went perfect. So yeah, good luck.
Oh shit!
He's really, really good. So yeah. He's my dark horse to win the whole thing actually. So that's my shot.
All right, Richie, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me, trying to pull Shawn Michaels. And going from 1 to 30, and then throwing British Bulldog over the top rope and winning. But in the free fall, beyond that, me and Pez just did a Wheel of Movies on Happy Death Day. You can check that out. And then before that, it's on ASAT. Pez hosted a movie release dates trivia.
It was fun once we got past everybody having internet issues. That was fun. Eric and Mesa kept having internet issues and freezing up. That was annoying.
Yeah. And then beyond that, I'm on Tournament Fights. I'll be on the 1997 Championship episode, I believe. I'll pop up on long time first time as well. I called JP. I called in for a bit today, and and I pop up here on the leagues at Why We Love Trivia. Why We Love Trivia. Why We Love Horror, and all that jazz, multiplex, and yeah, somewhere around.
All right, Pez.
Yeah, mostly on the Movie Hero Network, Facebook group Movie Hero Network, YouTube, the chat Movie Hero Network. Yeah, we've got some holiday tournaments all throughout the next week. A lot of mystery tournaments similar to our horror tournament. Just a bunch of random movies thrown in there with holiday stuff going on. I'll be on Rankum on Saturday talking about unconventional Christmas movies with Jacob. Jacob will be on there, right?
I will be there also.
Yeah, so it's like what we call in the Movie Hero Network, like those Christmas adjacent movies. I think it's kind of similar to that, is how Malcolm described it to me. So be nominating those Christmas adjacent movies. So yeah, we'll just talk, that should be pretty casual. I'm going to say yes to a lot of them. As long as it's a good movie that I like, I'll say yes to it. That'd be pretty casual. I feel like that's a lot of my episodes. Like, hey, if you need something good, I'll probably say yes. And then, yeah, the free-for-all will be a big deal. So hopefully you guys will tune in for that. That'll be a lot of fun. And we've also got a Die Hard recast on Monday night over on the Movie Hero Network. So, yeah, we'll be doing that. It'll be myself, Jordan, Steven Shepard, and Wolfman. So that should be a lot of fun. And we got a Home Alone recast. Richie, we're going to get you on for that, I promise. I told Jordan we can just do 5 people for that. We did it for Ghostbusters, so it's fine. Just have a big group. And odds are Chris Scott will drop out anyway, so it's fine. Last minute. So, but yeah, we'll do 5 regardless. We can do it. So yeah, it's a big movie. It's a beloved movie. We'll do it. It'll be a big Christmas episode. So we'll have a little fun with that.
Yeah, I'm just look. I'm not saying I know the picture. It's I think it's a weird pick to have Paul Rubens as John McClane, but you know what? You
go where you're gonna go. I won't say who I'm casting, but I'm going 70s for Die Hard. So tune in for that. I went straight 70. If the movie was made in the 70s, that's where I'm going. So I'm pulling what I did for Pulp Fiction, which means I won't get any votes, but I'll sell it as hard as I can. So.
Danny DeVito for Hans Gruber.
Logan Paul for Hans Gruber? That's weird. Jeez. Man, you're just going really annoying. And Jake Paul is Ellis, the cokehead guy? God, man, what are you doing? It's all influencers. King Bach as the Al Powell. PewDiePie as John McClane. What the hell are you guys doing?
KSI as you did Die with a Vengeance have KSI as Samuel Jackson's character.
Oh my god. It's not Zeus, it's Jesus.
Oops, I'm here.
He's here.
I thought he hated us. But yeah, no. Like Pez said, I will be on Rankum. It's on Saturday this week because I assume Malcolm's also part of that free for all.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. It was more just because everybody signed up for the free for all, so he's not going to do Rankum around the free for all. It's more just like respecting the fact that we've got like 36 people and a whole bunch of people from the community, so everybody's doing the free for all with us. So it's not like he didn't want to compete with that, so he's doing it on Saturday.
Yeah, so that should be and then the free for all. I will be entrant number 34. Towards the end, I think there's 38.
You're in the last 5 or so. So yeah, and again, most likely we'll have some people drop out, so it might even be later.
Hopefully the 4 that you're supposed to come in after me.
Yeah, you could be the last person. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure we always overbook it a little bit because we always have 3 or 4 people drop out last minute, the day of or whatever. So it'll probably end up being more like 35 people, which is what it was last year. So It's fine. We always have dropouts. We'll just slide the order up a little bit, but yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun, and then we'll be back next week with another episode of the Lonely Marks. So for JPO, for Richie, for how do I point this way? I point this way. Because I'm pointing this way for me, but I'm pointing. It's weird. Screens are So one more time for JPO, for Richie, for Pez. I'm Jacob. We're the Lonely Marks, and we'll see you next time.